Welcome in, everybody, to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Excited about today's program. I know serial killers are very, very popular on this program. One of the things we don't really discuss on this program, however, is how they may get tripped up. Either they trip themselves up or they get tripped up by the police or their victims or elsewhere. What's interesting is, although we have that thought sometimes, how do these serial killers get tripped up, or how do they trip themselves up? Has anybody ever written a book about it? That comes to mind, right? Well, my guest today, Dennis Carson, has written that book. Every Killer Leaves a Trace, the fatal mistakes that finally exposed America's most elusive killers. And I'll tell you, it's a fascinating book, folks. I got a chance to read it over the weekend. I wanted to bring this fascinating book and this really fascinating author on and talk about this book with you today. Let me tell you about Dennis before we bring him on today. Dennis Carson is the author of the critically acclaimed Bonded Through Injustice, a groundbreaking true crime account rooted in the first federal death penalty case ever tried in Orange County, California. With over 4 decades of experience collaborating with forensic specialists, law enforcement officials, and investigative journalists, Carson's work is characterized by its meticulous research and unwavering commitment to the truth. Now, this book, his latest, Every Killer Leaves a Trace, furthers his mission to expose not only the killers who evade justice, but also the systemic failures that enable them to do so. So I want to welcome to True Crime Tuesday, I believe, for the first time, Dennis Carson. Dennis, thank you so much for being with us today.
You're very welcome, and thank you so much for having me.
Again, a fascinating topic, right? Because we talk about how, crime seems like it should be so complex. Like, in order to get away, especially with serial killing, you would think you would have to be, there's minutia, right? You have to think about every little detail. You have to do it over and over and over again in order to be successful. You have to have this thirst to want to do it over and over again. There's the animal lust, but at the same time, in order to not get caught, you've got to have some sort of diabolical plan, right? And you have to be careful. So tell me the delicate balance here, Dennis. Why is it? Is it really that they choose to get caught, or is it a matter of a mistake most times?
You know what? It's probably 99% a mistake. Just some stupid thing that they didn't think about it. Like one of these clowns, he went in to do his deed, I'll call it that, right? And what does he do? He uses the victim's credit card to buy something.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's pretty doggone stupid.
Now, when we talk about the average criminal IQ, and especially serial killers, I reading the book, and I know this from reading the book, there's a few that do have a little bit of a higher IQ, but does animal lust almost always rule over IQ?
I don't think IQ really plays a role.
Really?
I really don't know, because like you said, some of them do have a decent IQ, but the bottom line is they still made mistakes, whether it was, like I just mentioned, the credit card or many other things, leaving fingerprints, leaving a trace of a hair that forensic specialists picked up on and nailed them through that. It's crazy, but it's true.
I think of specific cases, and we'll get to some of those specific cases here in just a moment, and talk about individuals that make these specific mistakes, because it leaves a chill when you think about how easily someone slips up, but how easily they perpetrate these crimes. They start out. Is it almost getting lucky? Do you want to say it? Is it almost getting lucky the first time or two that they kill?
It could be. I noticed that in some of the cases, they were just going about to do one event, one murder. And the next thing you know, there was a little bit of a thirst there for the second murder. And that led him to the third murder. And the next thing you know, they're a serial killer.
You've got some really famous, some really good, I hate to use the word good killers here, but some really, again, I'm not the author here, Dennis, but to use an adjective here, some famous killers that let's just say they've had the spotlight on them, and they've repeated over and over and over again. And let me bring one up that, of course, there's now a Peacock series out, and I'll use the one that we're all really familiar with, and that's John Wayne Gacy. And let's start with Gacy to begin with. With Gacy, tell us a little bit about with his beginnings and his motives, how it spirals so out of control, and how you know how there were multiple times where really he could have been caught, and eventually how he's caught, because it's so ironic.
Yes. John Wayne is an interesting example because he was hiding in plain sight. I mean, he belonged to the clubs in the neighborhood. He'd shopped in the stores, blah, 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 blah. And as we know, he lured his people, his victims, as being a clown. He called himself Pogo or Patches, right? And as it went on, he molested over 20, I think it was exactly 29 victims, 29 boys. And he lived in what's called Norwood Park in his area in Chicago. And what started was the 1978 disappearance of a 15-year-old boy by the name of Robert Piest. And he had been seeking a job with Casey, but as it turns out, he was turned into a victim. And he led a double life. I mean, I can't explain it any better than that. It was just a plain, simple double life. He was a good guy and he was a bad guy. It was just that simple, right? But his mistakes were crazy. And, the evidence, there were layers of evidence that led to his demise. And what's unfortunate is the number of victims. I mean, if you think about it, that's a pretty big number, 29.
Yeah.
That really is.
It's a huge number.
It really is. Yeah. And, there was, and I did watch the series on Casey. What's interesting is over the weekend, my girlfriend and I were looking at the various cases that may have been or may be still on TV. And out of these 29, there's only a handful. And they're not even properly presented. As an example, the one that sticks out in my mind from Saturday's View was Akala, Rodney Akala, the dating game killer.
Yeah.
And what they did in that show is they only featured him from the time he was on the dating game through his first murder. And they stopped right there. They didn't get into him being a serial killer. So they really didn't tell the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who cares if somebody's on the dating game?
Right.
Right? I mean, who cares? But the real story is the killings, and they totally missed it. All they did was they flashed cards that he went on to kill X number of people, and he did this and he did that, and they flashed about 4 cards. Who cares? You didn't tell me the story.
Right. Right. Well, is that Dennis? Is that mainly because they want to draw off the dating game stigma, and they want to draw people in, and it's kind of the kitschiness of the dating game. So then that way they get the rating and not necessarily have to dwell on the negativity of the killing. I mean, to me, it seems like this true crime thing is such a huge draw that you would almost get more ratings based on telling the story of the serial killing, wouldn't you?
You're absolutely right. And that's why I decided that we're not, I didn't pick up anything from the dating game
Yeah.
in as you read in the book.
Right.
It went right to the murders. And I feel that's just the right way to tell the story. That's what the reader or the viewer is looking for. Tell me about the murders.
Right.
I don't care if you run the dating game. I don't care if you played, championship golf. Who cares? Tell me about the murders.
Right. Right. Well, I noticed as well at the very end of the book, you do have another famous case as well, talking about Eileen Wuornos, right?
One of the very few female serial killers.
That's right. That's right. And from the movie Monster.
Yeah, and if I'm not assuming I'm correct, I think only about 5% of the serial killers are female.
Right. And one of the interesting things that you did here is you really did focus on the acts, whereas, there's a lot of anyone who's seen the movie Monster, there's a lot of backstory, right? But you really focused in on, and I credit you for this in this book. You really focused in on the actual acts themselves and got down to the nitty gritty, which I loved about this book. And you focused in on the downfall, right? And the actual the mechanism of the mind of the serial killer and the mechanism of the mistake of where they go wrong, which again, you got to stick to the theme of the book, right, Dennis?
Yes, exactly. And see, Tim, my background, as you probably already know, but for the listeners' benefit, is in investigations. And I've done a lot of work with some very, very high-level people. And do you mind if I get into that a little bit?
Please do. Yeah.
So it goes back to the Bonded Through Injustice book. That was written by a dear friend of mine, J. Charles Evans, a private investigator in Los Angeles. And he asked me to look at the case and to pick it apart and figure out what was wrong. In the end, the subject of the case, Juan Rubio, he was ultimately convicted, but not for what they charged him. Interesting point. And that's the first time I've seen that in all the cases that, I've looked at. They were looking at him as a huge drug supplier. Turns out they got him for murder.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed.
So anyway, moving on, in my career, I've worked with the late Ed Winter. I don't know if that rings a bell with your listeners, but Ed was the LA County coroner to the stars.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Ed passed away about 2.5 years ago. But working with him was a real eye-opener insofar as really how they do things. And two people I'm really proud that I worked with are Lina Evans and Dottie Owens. They're very high-profile medical examiners / coroners. Dottie is now retired, and Lina still is working. In fact, they're both going to write reviews on my book because I can't even get into their credentials. They're just so good. It's so powerful. But the long and the short of it is I lean on people on what I call a team to help me. As an example, when I look at a crime scene, what are the problems? And one of the biggest problems and mistakes, and we see it all the time on television and in motion pictures, is they put an evidence like a gun, they put it in a plastic bag. That's not proper protocol because the plastic will distort the fingerprint. It has to go in a cardboard box or a paper bag. Real
Interesting.
simple mistake, but it's done every day on TV and in motion pictures. And that's the kind of thing that, I've learned with these people. And I make sure that when I write a book or tell a story, it's done accurately.
That's a really interesting fact, Dennis. I had no idea.
Yeah, it really, oh, I mean, it goes on and on. This is on a new book that I have coming out, which I probably next year. It's not done. But these two coroners, medical examiners, helped me on this book. And let me tell you that, and briefly, the two cases, and I can't mention names,
Sure.
but there was this individual, a woman, and she was found naked, upside down in a trash can. The medical examiner ruled it an accidental death.
What?
Hello. Here's the better one. A gentleman was found who was left hand. He could not use his left hand. It was damaged in an altercation he had many years ago. So he could not use his left hand. Case closed. Okay. So they found him seated in a recliner with a bullet to the left side of his head. Now, just picture a right-handed person having to go around his head. And okay, but here, the PS to the story is that the crime scene photo that the detectives provided showed him with the gun in his lap. Now, you got to tell me that there wasn't recoil on that gun and it didn't fly across the room or it didn't land in his lap. That's for damn sure.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same medical examiner ruled it a suicide.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Okay. So Lina and Dottie pulled the two cases apart and we looked at the evidence and we have proved positive that they weren't what they were ruled.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but okay. I mean, my mind's swimming right now, Dennis. I mean, absolutely how you could look at those two cases and come to that initial conclusion. I mean, I know there's no such thing as common sense, right? There absolutely is no such thing as common sense.
No.
But to come to that conclusion and have that be the initial conclusion, isn't that just sloppy, lazy work?
Sloppy what?
Sloppy, lazy work?
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, that to me just screams, I've got too much on my desk. I just want to get this over with. Let's just move to the next case.
Well, let me give you the real fact of that case.
Okay.
It wasn't sloppy.
Okay.
The medical examiner was pressured into ruling the two cases as she did by county officials.
Really?
I'll give you another tidbit, all right?
Okay.
Typically, an autopsy is handled by the medical examiner
Yeah.
and maybe a witness. In this case, they had 4 witnesses. Unheard of.
Yeah.
Right. That's when I looked at that, I went, okay, we've got a stinker right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That does kind of reek, doesn't it? That's for sure. That's bizarre. Bizarre. So what do you do in a case like that then? When something reeks to high heaven and it's not right, how do you rectify something like that?
Well, what we did was we just kept pulling the case apart. The two cases, we kept pulling them apart. We talked to the neighbors around where the woman was in the trash can, and they didn't see by the way, she was in the trash can for 29 days.
What?
Yeah, exactly. How do you not notice that? Right. Come on.
Yeah.
And so in the case of the gentleman, we talked to all of his relatives, the families of both of these cases. I still speak with them. They're I'll call them quote friends within the industry, right?
Yep.
Nice people. And that's part of the thing in writing, Every Killer Leaves a Trace. It's not to glorify the killers, it's to talk about the families
Right.
and, what happened to them in what went on. And some of them are so sad, it's unbelievable. I mean, like an example, the woman with the mother of the girl. Think about that. When I was working on that, this goes back a couple, 3 years, Mother's Day came about. And, I said to my girlfriend, I said, I'm going to send her a Mother's Day card. And I did.
Wow. That's really thoughtful of you. I mean, that's extremely thoughtful of you.
Well, she deserved it.
Yeah.
She deserved it. And that's the way I feel, Look at what I do is gruesome at times, but sometimes it's very rewarding to be able to talk to the families that are still around and having to deal with it, and how do they deal with it. And that's a whole story by itself. It really is. I mean, some of these people are angry, some of them are forgiving, some of them just sit there and cry. It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things I do tip my cap to you about, that even in the most grotesque stories, and there's one that we'll talk about here, maybe on the other side of the break, with the toy box killer, one of the most gruesome stories in the book. You still remain focused on the victims of that particular killer, even as dehumanizing as those acts are. You still maintain the focus on the humanity of the victim.
Yes,
in that story.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and again, I tip my cap to you, Dennis, on that, because it's easy to get caught up in the carnage of the story, and
Right.
the focus to be switched onto the killer in the act, and the how monstrous the killer is.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep the focus on the victim, and that this is a human being that suffered, and that there's a family here that grieves and continues to grieve to this day. And the positive acts that come out of a horrific act that's happened to these people. I mean, that's commendable. So, yeah.
But some of the cases, let me go back to the Bonded Through Injustice book.
Yeah,
that
please.
story.
Please do.
So, as I said, he was convicted for something he didn't do. He did not commit the murder.
Okay.
All right. But his heyday was in the Ricky Ross days. That ring a bell with you?
Yes.
Massive drug deal. Okay.
Yep.
So he was right there in that same category with Ricky Ross. He was a major drug dealer, case closed, no discussion necessary. However, he was a human being. And he had a girlfriend, Trisha, and sweetheart, absolute sweetheart. And through the investigation of the case, I would get phone calls from Trisha. Can you take me down to see Juan at the detention center in LA? Sure. So we did that, and I did that several times. And, my girlfriend said to me the first time, she said, geez, aren't you getting a little close? I said, you haven't met Trisha and Juan. They're in love. The fact that he's in jail and will probably never get out doesn't change the fact these two people are in love.
Wow. Does that weigh on you at all, though? I mean, to get in the middle of that, to consider that?
Yes, it does. And that one, there's one Saturday that comes to my mind. So Trisha was, if you looked at Trisha, she looked like she stepped off the cover of Vogue magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, absolutely beautiful woman. So I had not met her this first go around. And so I got a phone call like at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know why I answered the phone, but anyway, I did. And it was Trisha. And she said, could you take me down to see Juan? I said, okay. So I called Charles and I said, would you meet us down at the detention center? He said, sure. So four of us sat down and it was like a table two across each other, right? So I said to Charles, he was sitting next to me, I said, let's get up and go get a cup of coffee and let them be alone.
Yeah.
When we came back, Tricia stood up, came around the table, gave me a hug, and she said, thank you. That made my day.
Now, I mean, you obviously know what the success rate of a jailhouse relationship would be. I mean,
Zero.
Yeah. I mean, did it seem futile to you at the time that to be going through this exercise? Did you try to talk her out of maybe trying to go through this?
No, Tim. I just figured they're in love. How it plays out, that's none of my concern. It's their life, our lives.
Okay.
And to this day, every once in a while, I get a phone call from her.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
So they're still attempting to keep it together, huh?
Yeah, they are.
Huh.
Yeah, he's never going to get out of jail. I mean, for murder, no.
Yeah, no. Interesting. So, if you don't mind me asking, if you know the answer, you do. If you don't, you don't. What keeps her hope up? I mean, I know the obvious answer is love, but what keeps her going to think that she's going to be able to hang in there?
They had a child.
Okay.
And it's the child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah, it does make sense. It really does. And it when you look at in her, this was on a not very unusual case because the evidence against him for the drug dealing was total BS. I mean, there's unbelievable BS. I worked with Maxine Waters a lot on this case. Mm-hmm. And, we talked about it. She kept saying, there's no way. I mean, he's locked in on this. He did deal the drugs. That's it. Case closed, Yep. Freeway Ricky Ross and him were best buddies, and they did what they did. But, at the end of the day, he was still Juan Rubio. And that was still Tricia. So.
Interesting stuff. I tell you what, Dennis, let's take our break here.
Okay.
When we come back, let's talk a little bit more about the book. I want to get into the toy box killer here. Again, I know it's one of those. I mean, it's a well-known case, but at the same time, it's one of those cases where humanity gets kind of thrown out the window. But again, I want to remember the humans that did suffer in that case as well. So I want to get into David Parker Ray, and I want to talk about some of the more disgusting, devious things that he did. But at the same time, I want to talk about the victims as well and how he made his mistake, because his crimes were so incredibly devious and intricate. But at the same time, how he gets tripped up is kind of astounding.
Yes. Yes.
My guest is Dennis Carson, and the book is an incredibly fascinating one, folks. We have a link in the description of this program. I want you to go get it. It's put up by Wild Blue Press. It's called Every Killer Leaves a Trace: The Fatal Mistakes That Finally Exposed America's Most Elusive Killers. It's a good one. And again, we have a link in the description of this program. I want you to go get it during the break. When we come back, we'll talk to Dennis Carson about the toy box killer, David Parker Ray. When we come back right here on the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. Welcome back to the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. My guest is Dennis Carson, the name of the book, and it's a good one, folks. Every Killer Leaves a Trace: The Fatal Mistakes That Finally Exposed America's Most Elusive Killers. Now, before the break, Dennis, we were talking a little bit about your previous book, And we were talking about a case that you were talking about, Juan Rubio, who had had some dealings with Freeway Ricky Ross. I want to get into this current book, and I want to talk about a killer who, man, you want to talk about intricate killing. Some people may be familiar with him. Some people may not be. David Parker Ray, known as the Toy Box Killer, who had this torture chamber that he had set up. Can you tell us a little bit about David Parker Ray and his beginnings? And eventually, he does slip up. But to give us a little bit of background on David Parker Ray and where he goes wrong.
Well, let me start from the beginning.
Sure.
This is about a 2-minute dissertation.
Sure, not a problem. Take your time.
Here we go.
Yep.
Okay, so there was a woman by the name of Cynthia Armello.
Mm-hmm.
She was 22 years old. She was in Albuquerque, and she was facing hardships after a troubled childhood. So March of 1999, a man posing as an undercover officer flashed a badge, handcuffed her, and drove her to New Mexico. The man was David Parker Ray, known as the Toy Box Killer. With his friend Cindy, I should say, Headley, he took her to a soundproof trailer designed for restraint and psychological torture. And if you Google pictures of that online, you won't believe that torture chamber. It was disgusting. Ray used deception, restraints, drugs, and pre-recorded orientation tape to control his individuals. He shocked her with devices, and used medical tools on her to cut into her, rip her apart, etc. One day, when Ray went to work, Headley, the other woman, Cindy Headley, decided she had enough of this. So she grabbed the keys to the trailer, let Cynthia out, and that's how she freed herself. She was running outside barefoot with a dog collar around her neck and the leash trailing behind her.
Mm.
I mean, disgusting is the only word I can come up with, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But actually, there are other cases that are, and this may be a little much for your listeners, so you may have to edit this out, but I'm going to give it to you.
No, please do. We can put a warning on it.
Okay. So another case, I want to get the exact name of the guy involved. Cameron Hooker. The case was called The Girl in the Box, and it's in chapter 5. So Colleen Stan was the victim. Colleen was hitchhiking from Northern California to come down to Westwood, California, for a wedding. And she stopped at a rest station, and there was Cameron Hooker, and he offered her a ride. She looked in the car and she saw Cameron's wife holding a baby in her arms. So Colleen thought, hey, this is probably okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she accepted the ride. Well, the bottom line is he kept her for 3 years in a wooden box, like a coffin, under his bed. And she was let out once a day to go to the restroom and eat crackers and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Now, here comes the part that got to me. When I investigated it and talked to the people involved, they told me that he had a habit, it was like a ritual, of inviting his friends over on the weekends to watch him torture and brutalize his victims. So one particular day, and here comes the part you may need to edit out.
Okay.
One particular day, he had this audience around Colleen, and he had stripped her, placed her naked on a chair, and he had spread her legs. He warmed up some turkey gravy. He poured the turkey gravy between her legs, and he had his dog lick it up. It doesn't get any nastier than that.
No.
I mean, when I discovered that point, I was speechless for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I couldn't even talk to the person who told me the story. I just sat there speechless.
Yeah. Yeah. When I read that in the book, I thought, you can't dehumanize a person any more than that.
No, that's as bottom line as it's going to get.
Yeah.
But these guys, I mean, they were all, you wouldn't want to meet any of them at church because they wouldn't be in church.
No, they burn up at the threshold, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thankfully I let this stuff roll off my back. It doesn't get to me really.
Right. Yeah.
The Cameron Hooker one was a gross exception, and as you can understand why.
Right.
But most of it, okay. They did all these terrible things, and they were terrible, but that's what they were.
Mm-hmm.
They were just plain serial, brutal killers.
I'm trying to remember who it was had the sign at the execution that was ironic. Do you remember?
Oh, yes. I know what you mean. Okay, wait a minute. Let me bring that back to mind.
Yeah.
He had kidnapped her. Just a second. I'm trying to find exactly her name.
Yeah. It's good gallows humor. I know that much. But there's always It seems like even amongst family members, everyone's was it a family member or a victim? I'm trying to remember. I think it was a potential victim
that stood up and talked.
Yeah.
Okay, so what it was he kidnapped her, he brutalized her, and this went on for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And after she escaped, and he was arrested and convicted, and in the trial, when they called her as a witness, she said to, I don't recall if it was mother or father, but either way, she says, I'm going to say something that's going to get to him, because he thought he had destroyed her and her life, period. So she got up, and her attorney was cued into the question he was supposed to ask. So he said to her, what did you do yesterday? And she said, I graduated from college.
Yeah.
So she made something of her life.
Yep.
I graduated from college. Pretty powerful.
That is. Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But didn't she use his last name at the execution with a sign?
Yes.
Or a sign or a T-shirt, wasn't it?
She did, right. Yeah. Oh, my God. I'm trying to remember. Yes, she did. You're right. She held up a sign at the execution.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was a great play on words.
Yeah, he used to play on words with his last name. And
right.
Yeah, just kind of one last shot as he was going out.
Right.
Which I thought was amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's, one last dig before he's taken out, I thought was great.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah. So, for those people who think maybe there's not enough justice done before one of these people is taken out, I thought that was just a great ending to one story. And almost one of those Rod Serling Twilight Zone endings, right?
Yeah, right.
But in a good way. There's a story here that, every once in a while when you read a story, you can almost see the scenery because, you've been there plenty of times before.
Mm-hmm.
I have relatives in Pasco County in Florida. So I can put myself, when I read the story of Bobby Joe Long and Lisa McVeigh, I can put myself there because I've been there plenty of times in Pasco County, and it absolutely chills me. I mean, just Bobby Joe Long in general, because and the other thing too, Dennis, is the other thing that shows me is you have the pictures of each and every one of these killers at the end of the book.
Well, when I wrote the book, when I was writing the book, it dawned on me, okay, so I've seen who these people are, but I thought, you know what? If Wild Blue Press goes along with it, I'd like to put the pictures of the book so that the readers have the same sensation in seeing who these killers really were. That if you looked at them, the majority of them just looked like the guy next door.
Well, the other part of that, though, is when you line them all up and you start to look at them, there's the same cold, dead eyes in each killer.
That's right. That's right. That's another reason I wanted to show it. You hit the nail right on the head, Tim. That's exactly right. Yeah. Those are, I guess it's called vacant eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's disturbing. I mean, it's very disturbing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a fun walk down memory lane, that's for sure.
No, that's doggone sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. But the story of Bobby Joe Young is particularly disturbing, along with Lisa McVeigh, in that Lisa was only 17 years old. I mean,
Yes.
you talk about, you talk about a guy who, just a brutal killer on top of everything else. But can you tell us a little bit about Bobby Joe Young in that story in Pasco County, Florida?
Yeah. Let me get my notes on him just a second.
Sure. I know Lisa was working at the Krispy Kreme there in
Yes, she was.
Pasco County.
In Tampa.
In Tampa, yep.
Right. So he approached her, and then he, turned around and kidnapped her. But her trauma was purpose-driven. There was no question about that. And it was brutal, as you recall from reading the book.
Mm-hmm.
So how they caught him, or when they caught him, I should say, he had been assaulting women, countless women in Florida, escalating his assaults into murder in Tampa Bay in 1984. Forensic evidence, which included red nylon fibers from his car, linked him to multiple other victims. And that's how he turned into a serial killer. That's how they found other victims, was the DNA on those fibers.
Yeah. With her, her particular struggle when he had her, she was her struggle was quite intense with him. He was quite the sadist. I know that. I encourage you to go to the book and read it. It's a lot of what Bobby did was particularly brutal.
And she was the one, by the way, that held up the sign, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. But he also he was the one that, again, she was the one that they initially said that, didn't they accuse her of being a prostitute at one point, I think? Or am I thinking of another case? I don't
think they did accuse her of that.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of another case.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm getting my cases mixed up here.
Very easy to do.
Yeah, it's very easy to do. Okay. The last one I want to talk about here with you today, and again, I want to refer people to the link in the description of this program and have you go get the book, because again, folks, it's amazing how these killers will either slip up or they have a circumstance that will happen with an individual victim that the victim will get them to slip up. And it's amazing how it happens either way. Is a tandem or a team in this book. And I'm getting to the actual chapter here because I want to get this right here. It's right towards the end of the book here, Dennis. Is the Hillside Stranglers of Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Buono, which is an unusual case in that you have a tandem working together.
That's right.
To kill. This happened in the 70s. And I remember this. I was a kid at the time, and I remember it being particularly a scary case.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a case here where when they worked in tandem, they were almost unstoppable.
That's right.
It was one that tripped him up, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And if I remember right, it was Kenneth Bianchi who tripped them up. But wasn't this another case where they were enamored with law enforcement?
They were. They had created law enforcement uniforms and badges, and they would pull people over, and that's how they got them. No, that's how they got their victims, I should say.
I find that duality very strange. I mean, you want to operate on the right side of the law, or you have an enamorment with the right side of the law, but at the same time, you're evil. You're creating, right. You're luring people in with innocence, but at the same time, you're desecrating that innocence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole new level of evil to me.
That's right.
I mean, I hate to bring up this particular crime, but I went to school with and was a friend of Melissa Hortman. And to me, that whole desecration of trust, to show up at a doorstep dressed as a police officer in the middle of the night and use that trust to come in and kill a family, to me is a whole new level of evil.
I'm going to digress for just a second. I watched a show yesterday called Compliance.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with it?
I'm not. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well, this guy, and it ends up at the end, they tell that this happened like hundreds of times throughout the United States. Guys would claim to be with law enforcement, and this guy called a fast food restaurant and claimed that a girl had stolen money. And I'm going to short circuit this.
Okay.
Through the ordeal with this girl, they had her naked. They had people going in, abusing her, not intentionally, but just at the request of this caller on the phone, who claimed he was a cop and couldn't get there in time. And this went on for hundreds of these cases at the end of the show. So these people who impersonate cops, I'd like to look into that one day further, because it's really an interesting situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do they get out of it? I don't know.
You know what it is? I think it's the empowerment they can't get in life, right?
That could be, yes.
It's the fact that they're probably living a lower station in life, and they realize that not only, follow me here on this, Dennis, not only can they get people to snap to and get them to do whatever they want on a whim, because they realize that in our society,
mm-hmm.
that police officers do command respect, they do command power, but they can get, police officers, when a police officer asks us to do something, we do it right away, right?
Right.
So they can ultimately command someone to do whatever it is they want right away. So they can get them to do whatever it is they want right away. Well, at that point, they can manipulate them to do whatever it is they want. Then they can get their sickest fantasy.
That's it. You're right.
And then they can manipulate them to whatever it is they want and ultimately get at that point whatever they want. And then from there, it's, rape, torture, kill, whatever sick fantasy it is they want to accomplish. They can do. They could take money. They could, drain bank accounts. They could, whatever it is they want to accomplish.
Well, I know, going back to Charles Evans, from Bonded Through Injustice, he was with the Inglewood Police Department before he became a private investigator. And he told me some stories along these same lines of people impersonating police officers and what they did. And some of it was really sick. I mean, some clown impersonated a police officer, pulled a woman over and convinced her to get out of the car, get in the back seat. And he stripped her and raped her. No, that's not a police officer. Excuse me.
No.
Impossible.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It's right on the car, isn't it, to protect and serve?
Yeah.
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 And we count on our law enforcement to be there for us, to have our back, to be there in our most desperate times.
Yes.
Right. I mean, they're our first line of defense in that time where we're feeling panicked, in that time when we know that our lives are on the line. We know we can look to our right and there they are.
You're right.
And we feel safe.
Yeah. And they play on that.
Right. And to put that ounce of doubt there, I think they live for that. That criminal element lives for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's disgusting. It's sick.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it probably turns the stomach of law enforcement too, to think that could be, that could be twisted in that way.
Well, I remember Charles told me he had to arrest one of those guys that did something like what you just mentioned, pulling a girl over and then raping her in the back seat. Some witness saw what was going on and called the cops. He happened to answer the call. That's when he was still on the force. And he said it took every ounce in him not to beat, pardon my language, not to beat the crap out of the guy.
Oh, I bet. I'd want to take him aside and use a rubber hose and a phone book too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't blame him. I really don't blame him.
Right.
I mean, to pervert the good name of the department, and then, because that person's never going to trust law enforcement again. Never
going to happen.
No. You can't reestablish the integrity or the reputation of law enforcement again in that person's eyes.
No, you just can't do it. No. It's over with.
Yeah. Likewise, the family is going to think the same thing too. Mm-hmm. Right? Because now, what are they supposed to think?
That's right.
Yeah. So
very true.
Yeah, you've destroyed a whole bunch of it's just because some idiot is out and decides that they want to acquire power they never had.
Look, there are some stories that are just so unbelievable. Can I digress for just a second?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, as I mentioned before, I was good friends with Ed Winter, the LA County coroner, and this is a really strange case, and I'm not going to deal with it, but I'm going to tell you about it.
Sure.
Because I had to laugh at the end. So here's what happened. So I was scheduled to have lunch with Ed at Felipe's, a well-known restaurant in LA, downtown LA. So what happened was when Ed walked in, he sat down and he said, "I have to tell you what happened this morning." And I thought, oh, okay, a murder, tell me about it. That's his life. Mm-hmm. He said, well, here's what happened. He says, it was 5:00 this morning. I was alone in the office. Nobody was there to answer the phone. The phone rang and I picked it up. And this guy identified himself and he said, I'm a chef here in LA. And I had an argument with my wife 4 days ago, and I murdered her, and I cut her body into pieces, and I have been boiling the pieces in the huge stainless steel vats that I have in my kitchen. And I've been boiling her for 4 days, her pieces. And he went on and said, okay. What else is he going to say? Okay,
Wow.
go ahead. And the guy said, so here's the point. He says, I'm calling to confess myself, turn myself in to confess what I did. He says, and as a matter of fact, while I'm talking to you, I'm eating her left arm. Okay, so now let's fast forward to Felipe's. So Ed walks in, throws his briefcase his bag on the table. He says, I gotta tell you this story. So he tells me the story. And when he was done, I looked at him and said, are you done? He goes, yeah. I said, well, I have a question. Did you by chance ask him if he made a side dish to go with the arm? So I guess the long and the short of it, Tim, is yeah, this is a nasty world. These cases are nasty, but sometimes you just get a good laugh.
What was the side dish?
Yeah, I don't know.
What goes good with human arm meat? They say that human tastes like pig, so I'm guessing baked beans.
Well, there was another case that I was looking at a book about cannibals, is how this came about.
Uh-huh.
And there was this guy in, I think, I want to say Tennessee. I could be wrong. Anyway, he sold barbecue sandwiches at a roadside stand.
Oh, I know where this is going. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so the meat in those sandwiches was human flesh that he had killed these people, slaughtered them, cooked the meat, and put it in the sandwiches. Now that is as disgusting as it's going to get.
That's some Ed Gein stuff right there.
Yeah.
With the new Monster series on Netflix, I keep giving my friends in Wisconsin, because I'm in Minneapolis, so I keep giving my friends in Wisconsin the whole people sausage treatment. I keep the whole people sausage jokes, because you can drive down there to Plainfield from here, right? Mm-hmm. It's not too far of a trip, and the what's the name of the cheese factory down there that you can stop? It's the one where you get the Swiss Colony. That's what it is, Swiss Colony. So Swiss Colony has stores down that way, down in the Madison area.
Right.
So you can drive to the Swiss Colony outlet store, but it's right past Plainfield. So I've actually driven by where Ed Gein's house would have been. They've raised the property. So you can drive past where Ed Gein's house would have been, and every time I go by there, I wave a Swiss Colony sausage log, and say it could have been your neighbor, Ed. I mean, it's just sick humor, but
well, like I said, I was looking at writing a book about cannibals, and that's how that came up, because he gave me the idea, right? Mm-hmm. But then when I looked at it, the biggest problem with the story was these guys are incarcerated, and getting through that or to them, the wardens are like jerks. Mm-hmm. No, you can't come in and interview this guy. Well, how am I going to tell the story if I don't know the story?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I gave up on it, but I'm going to tell you what I was going to call the book.
Please.
The Last Supper.
I so wish you could get in an interview.
I know.
That'd be pretty good, Dennis. I still think you should find a way to pursue it.
If I could get through the wardens, I would do it. Ed even did me a favor. He contacted a warden, I can't remember the name of the prison, that he happened to go to school with, or I don't know, they had some sort of previous relationship in life. And he said, you know, I have a really dear friend. He's a writer. He wants to do this. If I come with him down, to the prison, will you let us in and will you let him? I'll sit there, make sure nothing happens. Will you let him interview Joe Blow? And the warden said, no.
What?
He says, I know we're friends. I know we went to college together. I know all of that. But the answer is still no. Like, come on, what's the harm?
Right.
I mean, what damage could I do to this guy that already hasn't been done to him? I mean, he's in prison for the rest of his life. What else can happen? Come on.
Is it just a safety thing? Are they afraid that this guy's going to look at you like a tasty morsel and attack you?
I don't think so, because, Ed was really good with this kind of situation. He said, he said, we'll put him 5 feet away and we'll put up, a plexiglass wall with holes for the audio to come through. Mm-hmm. And we can't get to him and he can't get to us. And you could have all the guards you want standing around with machine guns. You could do anything you want. And the warden said, Ed, we're buddies. We've went to school together. The answer is still no. And he wouldn't give us an explanation.
Even if you signed a waiver?
No way. No way. What are you going to say? So that basically told me there's no hope in writing this book.
You have the perfect title.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
I don't get it, Dennis. I just don't get it. Some people don't see the vision,
No, they don't. They don't. And I want to bring up something else you probably noticed in reading the book. The legal aspects of the investigation are flawless.
Yeah.
And the reason is another one of my, quote, team members is a judge. Mm-hmm. And
that's I'm sorry, which judge?
She is a judge. I can't mention her name.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, she has an unbelievable reputation, and I didn't ask her to look at every single detail. But when it got down to a point where, is this really kosher? Is this really something that law enforcement can and should do? She would give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. No, that's not proper.
Did I see, and tell me if I was wrong, when I was looking at the notes inside the inside cover, and I had the PDF version, but was Judge Randazzo involved in this book, or is that just something I thought I saw?
Yeah, who?
Judge Michael Randazzo, is that something I thought I saw? Okay,
no.
Okay. All right, never mind. I thought that was the judge you were talking about.
No.
Okay, scrap that then. But that's good. I mean, that's excellent. That's excellent. So with that then, Dennis, I guess the one last question I'll ask you here is this. And I've asked this before of other contributors and authors who have written books about serial killers. Do you believe that in this day and age, with the fact now that we've advanced to touch DNA, and we've seemed to have built a better crime solving mechanism, that it's harder now to string together crimes or murders, so to speak. It seems like we're catching them sooner. Do you think it's possible to build the perfect serial killer in this day and age?
I don't think so. I think with all the advancements in forensic technology, and everything that goes along with it, it's pretty damn hard. It really is. I mean, the guy would have to have an IQ that isn't even on a scale to try and pull something like that off. Because the tools are there. It's a question of, does law enforcement or any branch of the judicial system want to use those tools? That's the question. I mean, I had a case in New York where this woman was brutally raped, etc. And I talked to the detective that handled the case and was at the scene. And I asked him some simple questions. Did you check this? Did you check that? And his answer was no. I went, why not? He says, because that's above my pay grade.
Ooh.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, not good. Not good. The only other thought I can think of, and you tell me if this is even possible, is if you could build the perfect serial killer, would it be someone who was either ex-military or ex-law enforcement?
I'd say law enforcement.
Okay.
And the reason is former law enforcement would know what law enforcement would be looking for.
Okay.
Or at least they should.
Yeah, at least they should. Right.
Right.
Every killer leaves a trace, the fatal mistakes that finally expose America's most elusive killers. Folks, it is a fascinating book. And Dennis Carson he's outdone himself. This is a book that I think you guys are going to enjoy immensely. I think this is a book that you guys are going to get into, and you're going to want to read through one sitting. I mean, you're going to want to sit down and immerse yourself in. Not only does it tell you exactly where each of these killers slipped up, it's going to tell you, it's going to also highlight the victims in these cases. It's going to tell you the humanity behind these stories as well. And it's an absolutely wonderful, wonderful book. Dennis Carson, I want to thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Tim. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Folks, it's time now for us to lighten things up a bit. It's time now for us to bring in Jessica Freeberg. And it's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals.
It's Crayon News story time.
What happened with this dude, Christ Bearer? I heard he cut his penis off and then jumped off a balcony.
Suspect pulls gun from butt, shoots twice at Denver police.
What is your emergency?
I need help.
And what's the problem?
I'm too high.
You're too high?
Yeah.
It's that time again, the time you all been looking forward to. It's time now for Dumb Crimes and Stupid Criminals. And with that, I need to bring in a co-hostess. One who had an incredibly entertaining book release party on Friday. One who, and in order to introduce her, I'm going to read a review from one Bhupinder from the Hindustan Times who attended on Friday night. And this is what Bhupinder had to say. We'll call him Bhupi for short, because that's his nickname. He goes by Bhupi. I met him on Friday. He's a charming gentleman. Bhupi had to say this. It was after a long flight on a Condor with a saddle that I rode on for 2 straight days. That's what we fly on here on Hindustan Airlines. It's the luxury model, folks. It was after my flight, 2 long days on a Condor, that I disembarked, that I walked up to the Taj Mahal, known as Canvas Convergence, that I saw the opulent building and thought to myself, this is way, way too fancy for my being. But I strolled in anyways to find myself surrounded by beautiful people and a beautiful spread, in a beautiful town, a beautiful city, in a beautiful state, in a beautiful country. And I walked into warmth and laughter and darn good snacks. More food than I've ever seen in my life. It's Bhupinder. So, you gotta deal with it. I mean, he doesn't see much food. Bhupi then had to say, I was regaled with wonderful food and wonderful people and wonderful times. And I met a wonderful author by the name of Jessica Freeberg, who regaled me with tales from her book, which scared me until I soiled myself. Which is not unusual because I soil myself 2 times a day. But I soiled myself nonetheless to which I excused myself and then came back and filled myself with more food. But nonetheless, Jessica was a wonderful, warm, funny, engaging person who has destroyed our charts. I let her know personally she destroyed our charts. She didn't seem to care much. She said, I'll be back, for I am the eater of worlds, destroyer of charts. You can't stop me. You can only hope to contain me, Boopy. And then she went, boop, and bopped me on the nose. I'll forever treasure my time with Jessica. I was touched that day. I will come back someday to this fair city, to this wonderful Taj Mahal known as Canvas Convergence. I bonded with a painting that had a cow, a sacred cow in it. I tried to milk its udders, and then I figured out it was just paint. Oh well. That's all for now. Love, Boopy. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is, fresh off her book release party, which was wonderful. If you weren't there, then shame on you. Here she is, Jessica Freeberg. Jess, how you doing?
I'm good. Why, that's a lot of commitment for Boopy to fly in a condor for 2 days.
Well, he wanted to attend.
It's very nice of him. I'm glad he was there.
Yeah.
I'm even more glad you were there.
Oh, yes. I had a great time. Yeah.
It was so fun. And I got home and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't take any pictures. I was so bad. And then my husband gave me the one that he took of us and I look like I'm smelling a fart.
Yeah, you looked like you were disgusted that I showed up, and I appreciate that.
Why do I always have this face when Tim's talking to me?
I don't know.
I love talking to you.
I don't know. You're like, what in the actual hell are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But no, it's all right.
It was fun, though.
I went to Chi-Chi's afterwards.
Oh, how was it?
Oh, amazing.
Just as good as old times?
Yes. The food tastes just like it did in the 80s. I hope they didn't hold on to it since the 80s. But yeah, otherwise I'm going to get food
Well, you would
poisoning.
know. You would have been quite sick the next day if that was the case.
Well, I did have a rough weekend. No, I'm kidding. No, it was good. It was great. It was wonderful. Yeah. So
I wanted to go, but I was just too tired afterwards. We ended up and my daughter had to get to a bonfire. So, I had the teenager with us and she's like, how fast can we get home so I can get to my friend's bonfire?
well, she went to a bonfire that late?
Yes, I had to get her home, get her to a bonfire, and then I had to sit around and wait for her to be done so I could go pick her up.
Jeez.
It was kind of funny, though. So I took her to the bonfire, and it was a neighborhood I wasn't familiar with. But, in our town, there really are no, bad neighborhoods. It's a pretty nice area. But I drove up, and her friends were walking down the street, 2 of them. And they jumped in the car with us, and they said everyone went to the park. And so they told me to drive up to this, entrance to the park. Well, the entrance was basically like a path that went down a hill, and there were no lights. And it was 10:30 at night or later. It might have been it was 10:30, maybe close to 11. And they're like, okay, this is where we go in. And I'm looking at Brielle and I'm like, I feel like I'm dropping you off to a horror movie.
Right.
You're just going to walk down this dark path and it was all wooded everywhere. I was like, I feel good about this.
Yeah, good luck meeting Jason. We'll hopefully see you later.
I'm totally going to use that in a scene in one of my books, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. And then the mother, who's normally a good mother, dropped her child off to be slaughtered.
Just drove away. She had a long day.
Yeah. Mm. Well, that's why you have multiple kids, in case you lose one in the woods to a serial killer.
That's right. That's true. That's what I've always told my husband.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why
we need at least 3.
Yep. In case you lose one to a serial killer, then, you've got 2 more.
Oh, man. But yeah, it was a good weekend.
Yeah. I had a wonderful conversation with your husband about why we have guilty pleasure music on your phone. So that's, yeah. So.
And we're both trying to think of bad music we have on our phones. We're both just stumped. But you had bad music on your phone.
I do have bad music on my phone. I will admit to one. I'll admit to one right now because I have to tell you why I had to convince Mr. Freeberg that he knew the band Bread. Because he's like, I don't know any Bread. No, you do, buddy. Here here's this one, and then here's this one. And I was playing the multiple hits of Bread, and he's like, I do know that one. I do know that one. I do know that one. I'm like, see? You know them. You know them. You know these songs. And he's like, God, I know these songs. And you could just see his face go pale. Like, see?
It's the band you don't know, but you know it.
You know it. Mm-hmm. Be ashamed with me. Yeah.
You know it and you like it.
See, that's the thing. It's not just that you know it and you're like, oh, yeah, I know that song. You're like, you know what? I could see myself going to Amazon and buying that album for 99 cents.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the shame.
Yep.
Yep. And you know what's funny is I think I actually saw that like on a Graham Norton segment or something like that. So it's one of those, guilty pleasure, or it might have even been like another like talk show or something like that. It's like, oh yeah, what's your guilty pleasure, or, music you have on your phone or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, it's well, why would I tell you? Why would I admit I have that on my phone? But yeah. I have the entire album of the Best of Bread on my. That's just one of. I have like a lot of like I have like some people would be like, oh yeah, I take you to be a metal guy, or I take you to be the.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of different. You would have no idea what I have on my phone.
Yeah, you just have like diversified taste, which is good.
Yeah. But it's like the weirdest shit ever. Yeah. But yeah, that conversation went down.
That was funny.
Yeah. So.
And I'm like, I don't know. What's the weirdest thing I have on my phone? James Taylor, Carly Simon. Like,
see, that's not weird. That's I love Carly Simon.
You know, like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything weird I have on my phone.
No, that's
maybe some pictures we don't want to talk about, but
well, hey now. See. Yeah. See, you can't get any weirder than some of the conversations I just had with my guest, Dennis Carson, before this. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to listen.
See. Or some of the stories we have coming up here on Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals.
Oh, bring them on. Bring them on, Tim.
Ready? Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's jump into it. I have to ask you, Jess, do you have you used Shipped by Target? Do you get stuff brought to the house, delivery?
No, not typically. I think I used it once when I was sick, but otherwise I love to go to Target because then you just buy things that you don't need.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have a bit of bad news for some of you who have used Shipped, especially here in Minneapolis.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Let's start off slow, shall we? We'll ease our way in today to Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals. If you're in the Minneapolis area, guess what? You may have run across a delivery driver who's accused of stealing over $16,000 in purchases from Target customers here in the Twin Cities.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
This is now, see, I do use Walmart Plus. I'll give them that shout out real quick because there's some. As you get older, there's some heavier stuff I don't want to carry home. Yeah, there's that. So like sometimes I'll put a bulk order in and I'll be lazy and let them bring it to me because it's always fun.
That's what it's there for, Tim.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm always afraid that somebody will steal stuff out of my order.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what Kang Hu Huang did. Multiple times. The Minneapolis man is accused of stealing purchases from Target customers while he was working as a Shipped delivery driver. I got to say hi, first of all. Hold on. Is that my buddy right there?
Little Phoebe Buffet just popped up.
Phoebe Buffet!
Hi.
You got to say hi, Phoebe Buffet. Hi.
Yeah, hi.
That's my...
He's licking.
Oh, that's my other co-host right there. How you doing, Phoebe Buffet? What do you think of the shit? Do you ever get anything by Shipped and not tell mommy?
You get your puppy bones.
You get your puppy bones by Shipped?
Yes.
Yeah.
You love them.
I'm sure you do. Yeah. You just don't tell mom, right? You got access to the Amazon account? I'm sure. Yeah.
This one gets anything she wants.
Yeah. Do you get stuff by what's that delivery service for the pets?
Chewy.
Chewy, yeah. Do you get stuff by Chewy there, Phoebe?
Heck yeah, we do.
Heck yeah.
You like Chewy, Phoebe? Yes.
Yep.
You're so cute.
Yep. You know what I did the other day? I got a 5-pack of peanuts from Walmart Plus, but I don't tell Spuddy. I don't. Nope. Although I told Mally this story last week.
Yeah.
One of the Blue Jays found the box when it came. Did I tell?
No.
I didn't tell you that story.
Oh no.
I'll tell everybody real quick again. Okay, so the 5-pack came in a box from Walmart Plus, and it was sitting out on the front porch.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I hear what sounds like a pterodactyl coming through my front door, and I hear wah, 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 and I'm like, "What in the actual hell?" I'm making my green shake for the morning, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's coming through my front door, right? So I walk up to the front door, I stop making my shake, and I peek through the glass, and here's this blue jay jumping up and down on this box. It's like 3 foot by 2 foot, and he's jumping up and down, and he looks like he's the happiest little bird in the world. And if he could smile, he'd be smiling.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm sure he was. How did he know it was full of peanuts, though? That's
He
amazing.
probably smelled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
Sense of
mine,
smell.
mine, mine. Look what I found. I won the lottery. I won the lottery. I won the lottery. He probably thought, open this up and give it all to me, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, no, buddy. I'm not good. Thank you, but that's mine. Yeah.
Greedy little bugger.
Yeah. But he found out. He found it before everybody else. So, yeah.
Did you give him at least a couple?
I did. I went out and I gave him a couple handfuls. Yeah, he was happy. So, anyways, back to the ship guy from the delivery driver from Target who stole 16 grand in packages. A Minneapolis shipped delivery driver allegedly stole more than 16 grand in purchases from Target customers. 25-year-old Kang Hu Huang is charged with 1 count of theft by swindle. Now, what we know about this, according to charges on August 18th, officers received reports that Huang, I'm sure he's got a nice Wang too, was a ship delivery driver who was reportedly making packages, or was marking packages coming from, I'll get it right, I'm still thinking of the Blue Jay jumping up and down on the box. It makes me happy. Was marking packages coming from a Minneapolis Target as delivered that were never received by the purchasers. That's a big no-no. Court documents say that in one of the incidents, a Target employee had bought a vacuum cleaner, which was then marked as delivered but never received. See, you don't want to do that to the employees when they buy stuff from Target.
No, you're going to get busted. They have all of these little security measures in place just for this reason.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The employee then got surveillance footage, which allegedly showed Huang delivering the vacuum, taking a picture of it to verify the delivery, then taking the vacuum and leaving. So he actually got it to the place, went, here's your vacuum, click, and then took it off the step and took it home.
So bad.
That's horrible. Target was then notified by a staff member at an apartment building on South 9th Street in Minneapolis about a large amount of empty Target shipping boxes in the building's garbage, the charges said. Many of the boxes had different addresses throughout the Twin Cities. According to court documents, Target found that Huang was the shipped delivery driver for all those packages. Additionally, all those packages were marked as delivered but reported missing by customers. The items in the empty boxes, shipping boxes, found at the apartment building were worth at least $5,337.53. And Huang was the delivery driver for about $16,541.69 worth of items that were never delivered to customers. That's a
lot.
At Target, that's a lot of merchandise.
It really is.
I mean, considering your average big screen TV now is only about $500, especially at Target.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Huang was a resident at the apartment building where the empty Target boxes were found, and he was seen on camera disposing of the boxes at least 27 times. Oh. Huang allegedly took items including a standing fan, Shark and Dyson vacuums. Why you need 2 vacuums in an apartment, I have no idea. a Roku TV, and a 50-inch Samsung Smart TV. He needed 2 TVs in an apartment.
Wow, he got some good stuff, though.
Yeah, he did some good shopping. During a search warrant, officers found over $6,000 of the stolen items. I suppose he gave some away to family. Wong is currently in custody, and his first court appearance is set for October 27th. So, when you're a Target shopper, you're a Target stealer for life, I guess, especially when you work for Shipt. There you go.
Not cool.
Not cool at all. I'm going to put you in an imaginary scenario here, Jess. You've decided to arm yourself and have a standoff with police. What talks you off the ledge? If they say to you, we can give you one thing, Jess, if you'll turn yourself in, what talks you off the ledge?
Well, I can't imagine being on that ledge. It's very hard for me to think of it, but I mean, just bring me my dog. Then I'll be like, oh, everything's right in the world.
Oh, a little Phoebe buffet that would talk off the ledge. Little Phoebe kisses would do it.
Little Phoebe or Winston, my son's dog, either one.
Oh, look at that. See?
Give me all the dogs.
Oh, look at that. Well, for
How
one,
about you?
Boy, see, I'm going big stakes because I know I'm going to jail. That trick never works. So we got to go. I don't know, 20 million in unmarked bills and a helicopter, but
Well, give him the money.
Yeah, it's got to be money in a helicopter. This man right here had a simple demand. This, as you could tell, he looks quite worried because he knows he's going to jail. If you're watching the video,
this is a very moody kind of picture.
It is, right?
Like his head's kind of cocked to the side, and he looks like he wants to rip my heart out.
Let me sing a little song to you. Everybody hurts. So he's kind of got that look.
He does.
Yeah. Look at he's like, sometimes. This man is 40-year-old Elijah Reagan. And he had just one demand, Jess. When he was cornered by police, he said, "Get me Dairy Queen, a blizzard, and a hamburger," so to speak.
Oh,
that's it.
Well,
would a blizzard talk you off the ledge?
I mean, I would love one.
Yeah,
it's better than a Faygo soda. Isn't that what the one guy got? He got like the red soda.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Over near Canvas Conversions had the dirty soda. You guys had the dirty sodas.
Yes, my daughter had one.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to get over there. I wanted one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah, next time. Yeah. I didn't get one of those.
Yeah, I guess a blizzard might do it.
Blizzard might do it?
Yeah, I like ice cream.
Yeah. Well, we're going to Washington State, where a Dairy Queen blizzard helped end an armed standoff in Washington State.
Oh.
Yeah. The unmatched potency of a Dairy Queen blizzard was seen again this week when the frozen delicacy helped end an armed standoff between Washington police and an arson suspect. Yes, you can cool off a nice hot fire with a blizzard. According to investigators, 40-year-old Elijah Reagan set fire Sunday night to his Pullman apartment by using a mortar to shoot a firework into the ceiling. He's an upstanding citizen, Jess.
Dang.
Yeah. The resulting blaze damaged 8 apartments and resulted in the evacuation of dozens of residents. As detailed in court records, Reagan's estranged wife told cops that he called her to say, "I bombed my apartment and that bad people were after him." That's why he has that weird look on his face.
Oh, now he's having a little paranoid moment.
A little paranoia might destroy you.
Oh.
Yeah. Reagan, who was smoking methamphetamine at the time, that's the other look on his face.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll get you. That'll get you this look right here. This is methamphetamine at its worst.
They're all coming after me, and I'm covered in bugs. That's
and I'm covered in bugs. Yeah, that's that look right there. Reagan was smoking methamphetamine and led police on a high-speed chase before his 2012 Kia Sedona was disabled by a spike strip. Those are pretty easy to disable. Reagan had a shotgun, bottle rockets, fire logs, and lighter fluid in his vehicle. Of the random things you can put in your vehicle, those are pretty random. You know, if he would have had a blizzard with him, he wouldn't have had to ask for it.
He had everything else.
He did, yeah. An armed standoff soon followed, with police seeking to arrange Reagan's surrender. His blizzard demand emerged in those negotiations, police say. Mr. Reagan requested a meal from Dairy Queen as a condition for surrender. See, meth is a hell of a drug. I'm convinced that when you're coming down off of it, it's like, you know, you're riding the snake, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the drugs are wearing off. I could go for a blizzard. Yeah, you know. I just need some of the chicken strips with the white gravy and French fries, and I'll be just fine. Oh, see, you're getting me kind of close to dinner here. I'd turn myself in now for that, I think. Yeah. I think I would too. Or a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, extra crispy. Oh, now you got me. See, but I got to have the sides. Yeah. Yeah, the mashed potatoes that aren't real mashed potatoes, right. And the gravy that you know is powder, but it's delicious. That's right. That's right. If we were having a last meal, that'd be on my list. Yep. Although I got to have that fake mac and cheese too. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not real cheese, but it's good. No. You know, it's not even close to real cheese. No, it's yellow. It's like a crayon. There's not even dairy in that. It's oil product. Oh, the things we put in our bodies. I'll take that fake ass gravy and that oil product cheese any day. Yes, sir. Especially if it's the last meal, you're not going to have the repercussions after. You're just going to eat it and be happy. That's right. And give me them biscuits with that fake ass margarine. I'll take that too. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And then just sit back and watch my goddamn veins explode, because it's all over. I'm going to jail anyways. That's right. Yeah. Or better yet, if it's the last meal, they're just going to pump me full of something to kill me anyway. So exactly. If that's my meal before jail, I hope they have a toilet in my stall. That's all I'm going to say. Your cellmates are going to hate you. I'm going to be so sick. It's not going to be pretty. You're going to blow that toilet right off the wall. Yeah. Oh. Anyways, where were we? Oh, yeah. Blizzard demand emerged in these negotiations. Mr. Reagan requested a meal from Dairy Queen as a condition to surrender, according to a police commander. Cops purchased a blizzard and a hamburger from Dairy Queen and brought the food to the scene on U.S. Highway 195. The chow was delivered to Reagan's car via a tactical robot. He got full service in this deal, Jess. I want my meal delivered by a tactical robot. That's amazing. I want one done like that every time I go to Dairy Queen. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's all the rage now in some restaurants. Just make a threat and then the police will come. Yeah. I didn't mean it. I just really wanted the robot. Yeah, I just really want Herbie the robot to come up and deliver me a hamburger and a... Oh. I wonder if it was a cheeseburger or a hamburger. I hope it was a cheeseburger. Yeah. You got to put cheese on there. Dairy Queen cheeseburgers are so good. Wow, everything there is good. Yeah. There's nothing there that I don't like. Do you think he got fries with it, or is it just a cheeseburger? I mean, I'll be ashamed of him if he didn't get the fries. You cannot get the burger without the fries. Right. You got to do the basket. I mean, you know. For sure. And if they were really treating him right, onion rings. So you got to do the onion rings and the cheeseburger and the blizzard. Yeah. Now you're talking. Now you're. And cooking. I would ask also for the white gravy to dip my fries in, because that white gravy is bomb. Although I want you to a little bit of a taste difference here, a little bit of a taste treat for you. Dip your fries in the blizzard. Oh yes, yeah, that's good too. Yeah, Just saying. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. 4 hours after the fire started, Reagan, whose auto had been boxed in by armored vehicles, surrendered. 4 hours? It took you that long to eat that? He was really savoring it. She's like, little tiny baby bites. Right. He was booked into jail on felony arson and eluding charges. Reagan is being held on $250,000 bond. That's an expensive combo meal. That's crazy. Yeah. In advance of his arraignment Pullman Police Department and court records did not identify what flavor Blizzard was employed by law enforcement, but it's Pullman, Washington, so I'm guessing it wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't like a Snickerdoodle Blizzard or anything. It wasn't probably a seasonal flavor. My guess it was probably just brownie.
Yeah, or cookie dough. One of those, very basic.
Yeah, M&M Blizzard or something. Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think they went nuts on the deal. I don't think they treated him special. All right, Jess, I have a conundrum for you. You go to a convenience store, you're low on money, you decide, I'm going to rob some scratch-offs, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But here's the conundrum. You won.
I did?
Yeah.
On my stolen scratch-off?
On your stolen scratch-offs. Now what do you do?
Oh, I feel like you're going to be in trouble when you try to collect.
Maybe. Or maybe you do what this guy did. He went right back to the same store and redeemed them.
Oh, bless his heart.
I want you to take a wild guess here, Jess, and tell me where this happened.
Florida?
Yeah! We're going to Florida, where a man robbed $7,000 worth of lottery scratch-offs from a convenience store and then went back to redeem the winners.
That's so many scratch-offs. Can you imagine getting home? I mean, aren't they like $1 a piece or something? You just be scratching for like 5 hours.
Well, some of them are $1, $2, $5, $10. It just depends, but yeah, scratching away.
He probably has carpal tunnel from this.
He probably does. It's probably his arms hanging off of his shoulder. Florida man stole $7,000 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets from a gas station convenience store, then returned to the very same location less than 2 hours later.
He didn't even wait a day.
No, he
Like, hey guys, I won.
You could still smell the burnt scratch-off in the store.
Oh my goodness.
And he came back to redeem his winnings and attempted unsuccessfully to cash in on his winners, according to a probable cause affidavit. You know, at least go to a different store.
Yeah.
You know? After equally unsuccessful second and third tries, suspect Justin Farley, 43 years old, instead used a replica handgun to rob a nearby 7-Eleven, making off with $120 and a pack of Newports. So he didn't even
That says a lot about him right there.
It does, doesn't it? Under questioning by police, Farley allegedly confessed, telling officers that he simply needed money.
And cigarettes.
Then take your scratch-offs down the road, you dum-dum.
Not even good cigarettes. I mean, at least steal the Marlboros.
Well, you know, those Newports are menthols.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, I guess.
they got a little kick. Farley is now facing 1 count of interference with commerce by threat of violence, a federal charge under the Hobbs Act, way to go, buddy, which prohibits robbery or extortion affecting interstate trade. He was indicted by Tampa grand jury while already in custody on state charges over the same robbery spree and was charged federally on Tuesday. The 7-Eleven robbery made headlines at the time, but further details have not emerged until now. Farley, who remains jailed, does not yet have an attorney listed on the federal docket and was unable to be reached for comment. Probably because he was being laughed at by inmates. On May 5th, at 8:11 p.m., Farley pulled into a gas station in St. Petersburg and walked inside the on-site Circle K, according to the affidavit, which was sworn on by an agent with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, otherwise known as the ATF. He engaged with a store employee before heading to an office in the rear of the store. There, Farley opened multiple cabinets and took scratch-off lottery tickets, then left the Circle K at 8:28 p.m. and drove away in a gray Hyundai Elantra, according to the affidavit, citing witness interviews and surveillance footage. Some 40 minutes later, Farley showed up at an area 7-Eleven and tried to redeem the winning scratch-offs to no avail, according to the affidavit. It says that he was inside for less than a minute, then got back behind the wheel of the gray Elantra and left. At 10:11 p.m., the gray Hyundai then returned to the Circle K, according to the affidavit. Farley then got out and headed inside, it says, after which he unsuccessfully attempted to cash the lottery tickets he previously stole. Defeated, Farley walked out about 10 minutes later and drove away. Roughly 10 minutes after that, the gray Hyundai then appeared again outside the Circle K, and Farley exited the car and re-entered the Circle K. Once again inside, Farley tried again to redeem his winning tickets, but again walked out penniless. At this point, an empty-handed Farley drove back to the 7-Eleven, where at 11:48 p.m., he entered the store wearing a black mask, yellow shirt, and black Nikes, jumped over the counter, pointed a black semi-automatic handgun at the clerk, and then the clerk said that Farley, who was still unidentified at this point, told her to open the cash register, to which she complied. The suspect removed approximately $120 from the cash register and escorted the clerk to the back room. Then the suspect stole a pack of Newports, climbed over the counter, and exited the store. That's when cops used a license plate reader on the gray Hyundai on the getaway route to identify Farley's vehicle registration, and the Circle K clerk positively identified Farley as the one who stole the scratch-offs, according to the affidavit. It says that on May 6th, the day after the scratcher theft and 7-Eleven robbery, they put everything together. Basically, they had cameras everywhere in this store. There's no way this guy got away with it. Over the next 2 weeks, detectives continued surveilling Farley, sitting outside his apartment building and watching him leave home wearing the same shoes, jeans, and hat that he wore to commission the Circle K lottery ticket burglary. So this guy never washed his clothes.
Had so many things going on. He was a hot mess, as they say.
Yeah. On May 22nd, officers with the St. Petersburg Police Department pulled Farley over while he was driving the gray Hyundai. According to the affidavit, they arrested him and called in the ATF, and things just went south from there. So the thing that gets me is he never washed his clothes. He kept wearing the same thing over and over and over again. So they're like, you're the guy who never changes your clothes. Let's put on rubber gloves and we'll handle you from here.
Oh, can you imagine the stink?
Oh, you had to smell wonderful. I suppose the smell of meth was coming off of him too.
Probably so.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to show you a picture of a really, really desperate woman here, Jess. Here she is. There's her right there.
Oh.
I'm going to have you guess.
Has a tattoo on her head?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to have you guess what she did. Kind of give you a little hint.
Well, I mean, I think she's probably using meth, it looks like. Maybe distributing. And a little side of prostitution. I don't know.
Wow. You went right for the really desperate.
Making a lot of assumptions.
You are making a lot of assumptions there. Well, not quite that desperate, but we'll put it this way. There's some love involved here. There's a little love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. A noodling kind of love?
Not noodling. It's a we'll just say it's a burning love that she's suffering from.
Is she lighting things on fire?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
It's either that or she has an STD that's making her burn.
It might be that too. Maybe she was left with one, and so she decided to burn in a different way.
Oh, my.
This woman has been jailed for burning down her ex-partner's home.
Oh.
Yeah. This woman, we're going overseas to England, where this woman has set fire to her ex-boyfriend's house, which then spread and destroyed the homes of two elderly neighbors.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she got a little
collateral damage.
Collateral damage. 34-year-old Stacy Hinks deliberately started the blaze at the terrace property on Springfield Grove in Boroughbridge, while a 90-year-old woman slept in the adjoining house. York Crown Court was told her ex-partner's home, along with All his belongings were destroyed, as well as devastating damage caused to the neighboring properties. And a victim impact statement read during her sentencing in York Crown Court. The 90-year-old told Hinks, "You'll never understand the harm that you've done to me, mentally, physically, financially, and emotionally." The court was told sentimental items, including ones from her late husband, were destroyed, and she had been forced to leave her bungalow and move in with family, in a different town. Her statement said, "I hope that you can sleep at night, because I certainly can't. I will think about this for the rest of my life." Boy, she didn't lay it on too thick on her, did she?
She was mad.
A little bit. Hinks, who pleaded guilty to arson with recklessness as to whether life was endangered, was jailed for 4 years and 10 months on Monday. That was it. 4 years and 10 months for all that damage.
Wow, that doesn't seem like enough. And also, was it really worth it? Like, just because you're mad at your ex?
No.
Crazy.
After starting the fire on the evening of the 15th of May, the court was told that she called her ex, who was not in the house at the time, to tell him what she had done. Initially not believing her, he only realized what had happened when he began receiving calls from friends and family later that night to check to see if he was okay. All his possessions were lost in the fire, including irreplaceable sentimental items, and the court was told he was left with only the clothes he was wearing. He said as a result of the stress from the fire, he struggled every day since. Another neighbor, an 89-year-old woman, managed to escape from her burning home after she was alerted by other residents. In a statement, she said, "Since you burned my bungalow down, I've lost everything that I own. I lost mementos to my late husband and son. All my memories and belongings are gone." Speaking after the sentencing, Detective Karen Everett said Hinks's actions had devastated the lives of 3 innocent people. Her ex-partners and his neighbors have lost everything, their homes, their belongings, and precious memories. The emotional toll has been immense. 4 years and 10 months, that's it.
Not enough.
Not enough at all. Not enough at all. All right. This next segment has a name. I have named this segment...
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So some of you might have heard that. If you didn't hear that on video, it's called Ladies and Gentlemen, We Got Him, because for some reason my board isn't hooked up to the video. I don't know why that is, but that's how it is. So ladies and gentlemen, we got him. So I'm going to show you a picture and ask you, Jess, what do you think this man's name is? He looks like... I can tell you what he looks like.
What does he look like?
He looks like Opie Cunningham. Right?
He looks like an Opie. Okay, I can see it.
Doesn't he? He looks kind of like Ron Howard.
He does, actually, like a dirty version.
Yeah, like a dirty version of Ron Howard. But ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Say hello to Morgan Freeman.
No.
Yeah, that's Morgan Freeman. And ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Morgan Freeman actually lives in England.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he was wanted by police. But we got him. That dirty Morgan Freeman. He was actually...
He looks different than I remember him.
Right? Yeah. He was mistaken for actor Morgan Freeman. But you can't mistake him. He's only 5 feet 4 inches of slim build with light brown ginger hair and a beard.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. But ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Mr. Freeman has links to Taunton, Shepton, Mallet, Frome, Wells, I believe it's Ilminster and Bruton. I don't know. I don't live there. Bruton. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. There's another one here, Jess.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we got him.
We got him.
A 2-time Tampa bank robber is arrested after his mom turned him in.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we got him.
We got him.
Would you turn your son in, by the way?
Would I? If he did something really bad, yes, I would.
Really?
For sure. I would. Yeah, if he killed someone, I mean, I would convince him to turn himself in, but
Mom, snitches get stitches.
that's what I hear.
A man was arrested on Thursday for attempting to rob a bank after his mother called police to turn him in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office reported that at 1:10 p.m., the suspect, 33-year-old Aaron Spencer,
33 and still living with his mom?
I think so, yeah.
Mm.
Entered the Truist Bank on Memorial Highway and demanded money from the teller by implying that he had a pistol. According to the sheriff's office, Spencer then fled the scene on foot and discarded his clothing in a parking lot nearby. At 4:39 p.m. later that same day, a woman called HCSO's 911 communication center saying that her son had just robbed a bank and that she was on her way to the District 3 office to turn him in. She done took him by the ear, drug him all the way down to the office and said, "This is my son."
Good job, Mom.
Yep. Detectives recovered the stolen money, and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office arrested Spencer. He was charged with robbery and with a firearm while wearing a mask. I want to know if Mom gets a reward for this. Because basically, she did the cop's job.
She really did. I mean, they should give her something.
Yeah. HCSO said Spencer was currently out on bond for a bank robbery that occurred back in April relating to an investigation with Tampa police. When someone's own mother feels compelled to turn them in, it speaks volumes about accountability and the trust our community places in doing the right thing, said Sheriff Chad Cronister. Her courage helped end a dangerous situation and reinforces the message that responsibility starts at home. Okay, but it also says, maybe you should pony up and pay Mom some sort of a reward.
Yeah, or take her out to Red Lobster or something.
Yeah.
Or something.
At least a Mother's Day card, right? When it comes time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we got him.
we got him.
Are you ready for this, Jess?
Yes.
He looks kind of dangerous. Do you see what I see?
What am I looking at?
We're going back to Florida.
Is it a lizard?
It's an iguana.
Okay. I didn't have my glasses on, and at first I thought it was a monkey, and then I was like,
A monkey, yes. He's a big boy. A massive iguana is arrested in Daytona Beach.
Wait, you can arrest an iguana?
I guess. That's right. A large iguana was thrown in the back of a patrol car in a strange encounter with Daytona Beach officers. The department released body-worn camera footage showing the incident, which happened on Monday morning. According to a release from the Daytona Beach Police Department, our officers responded quickly to help safely capture an unexpected visitor, an iguana found roaming around Daytona Beach. On the video, one of the responding officers can be seen hesitantly approaching the iguana as the other encourages her. However, the iguana is shown scrambling away before she can get her hands on it. Unfortunately for the lizard, it became wedged in a nearby fence, giving the officers the opportunity to capture the iguana and place it in the back of a patrol car. "He's going to be in the front seat shortly," one of the officers can be heard saying after putting the iguana inside. Police wrote that the iguana faces charges of disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, trespassing, and fleeing. Yes, there's a full video on this, and I will post it in the description of this program so you can watch the officers bust an iguana.
This is wonderful.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Yeah!
Woohoo!
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
If you thought that iguana was something, I want you to try and figure out what this is.
What am I looking at?
All I can say is, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Yeah! We're going to Parma Heights, Ohio, Jess, where after a police pursuit of a huge inflatable pumpkin, body cam video shows an officer struggling with it. But ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Oh, my.
We're wasting a lot of valuable police officer time this week, aren't we?
Chasing inflatable pumpkins, arresting iguanas.
That's right. The subject of an Ohio police pursuit took off down the road, a flash of orange in the darkness, but officers eventually caught up and grabbed the escapee, a runaway inflatable pumpkin as tall as them. Body camera footage from the Parma Heights Police Department in Northeast Ohio shows an officer struggling to grasp the floored gourd as he describes to a clearly amused colleague how he had chased it down early when it kept blowing away. And when I went to grab it over here, it just took off, he says. I was pretty much in pursuit. After some more struggles attempting to deflate the decoration, multiple officers squished it into a police car. I've never seen that before, one could be heard saying of the Halloween inflatable packed tight in the back seat. Police said they returned it to the home where it was displayed. Just another example of our officers going above and beyond, even for seasonal decor. The department posted Wednesday on its Facebook when it shared the case, which drew plenty of puns and quips from commenters, including other local law enforcement. Some departments would have squashed the story, the nearby Bedford police wrote. Glad to see you guys rolled it out. I'll let you groan on that one for a minute. It's horrible. It's a horrible story.
Oh, my.
You ready for this one, Jess?
I think I am.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
We got him.
We got him.
Yeah. Just like going, yeah.
Yeah.
A stolen California gas station dinosaur is returned with an apology note.
Wow, that's aggressive.
It is aggressive.
Those are big.
Let me show you. This actually looks like a hostage situation right here.
Oh, it's like he's been bagged, like.
Yeah, bagged and tagged right there. Yeah, I know, it's horrible, isn't it? It looks like a scene out of Seven, but with a gas station dinosaur. What's in the box? We go to Los Angeles, where a 50-pound fiberglass dinosaur named Claire that was stolen from a Los Angeles gas station has been returned with an apologetic note. The 4-foot-tall prehistoric mascot was stolen last week from a Sinclair gas station on San Vicente, same thing, Boulevard in the Brentwood neighborhood. Video showed the person using power tools to remove Claire, loading her into the bed of a pickup truck that pulled up alongside the fuel pumps and driving away. A clerk at the station told NBC Los Angeles she arrived at work early on Monday to see Claire had been returned. An attached note read, "I'm sorry for stealing. Please don't charge me."
Oh, someone went home and was feeling really guilty.
Yep. The dinosaur wrapped in fabric was likely returned sometime after midnight when the business was closed. A security camera video recorded Monday morning appears to be the same white pickup pulled up to the station before someone unloaded the wrapped dinosaur. NBC Los Angeles reached out to the Los Angeles Police Department for additional details. No arrests have been reported as of early Monday. The dinosaur's disappearance captured the attention of residents, including actor Jamie Lee Curtis, who posted video of the crime.
Oh, no. Did she actually see it happen?
She just saw the video. Here's
the
what
surveillance video. Gotcha.
Here's what she put on her Instagram post. Curtis said, "Really? Hey, you with your fancy truck. Really? You need to steal the dinosaur from in front of the Sinclair gas station? Really? Not cool, dude. Not cool."
Do you think that's why they brought it back?
I think it was peer pressure from Jamie Lee Curtis.
Convicted by Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, you've been shamed by the Curtis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some of Claire's fans brought flowers and other items to the gas station. Yes, there was a memorial for the lost dinosaur.
Oh, we are strange people.
Can't make it up.
So emotionally attached to things.
to the gas station dinosaur. Dinosaurs have become part of Sinclair's advertising and have been since the 1930s. The first promotions featured different dinosaurs, but the Apatosaurus eventually became the company's most recognized prehistoric mascot. Hooked on a dinosaur right there in LA. All right. That's the last one in.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we got him.
We got him.
I hope you enjoyed that little segment.
I loved it.
It's just a bunch of stupid little crimes this week. I figured we're kind of funny that we could put in the middle of the, light-hearted little funny little stories.
They're fun. I like that segment. I think we should do it again.
Yeah. Sometime when we got little funny stories, we'll put them in the middle of Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals, because it lightens things up. All right. A couple more before we get to Not Safe for Work here. A Northport couple are about to win Parents of the Year. You can rest easy, Jess. You are not the worst mom in the world. I found them.
Always make me feel better about myself.
Oh, I found them, my friend. Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're going to Florida. I want you to imagine for a second, you're going to abandon your kids. It's that day where you've decided, free at last. I'm going to get rid of these kids once and for all.
I'm going to be rich.
Yeah, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to save all my money for myself. I'm not going to feed those greedy little you-know-whats anymore. I'm going to drop them off on the side of the highway. I don't know what possesses a parent to think that, but ultimately narcissism takes over and you just decide I'm out for me and me only.
I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done as a society. Here we go. I'm going to show you a picture of these two idiots right here. Here we go. This is your mother and father of the year right here.
Okay.
All right. This Northport couple decided that, and by the way, they're being charged with neglect, that they were going to leave their kids on the side of I-75 in Florida.
They literally just left them on the side of the freeway.
Oh, but there's more, Jess. If you're going to leave them on the side of I-75, they got to be able to fend for themselves, right?
Yeah.
What would you give them to fend for themselves?
Did they leave them with guns?
Yes, they did. Because there's not enough school shootings in the world, right?
They're like, here, be safe.
Yeah. A Northport couple has been charged with child neglect after leaving an 18-year-old by himself on the side of I-75 with a bag of handguns to fend for himself.
A bag of them.
A bag of them. Here. If one's not enough, take a couple. They're free.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
It's in the Constitution. Defend yourself. Go for it.
Yeah, and he's 18, so technically he's an adult, I guess.
Yeah, have a party. Be a man. Go forward. Go forward. Hey, rob a convenience store. Get some money. It's your life. Go for it, kid. According to a probable cause affidavit, Northport police received a call on October 1st, just before 6 p.m., about a male seen walking along I-75 about a mile south of Sumter Boulevard. The officer found the teen, who told him he had been in a vehicle with 36-year-old Bradley Leon Guerrero Santos and 35-year-old Rosanella Mendola Bora and an 8-year-old sibling. The boy told officers when he got home from school, the couple informed them that they were taking a trip. And when he returned from walking the family dog, he saw that they were frantically throwing clothes into a duffel bag and loading them into the car. When the vehicle got onto the interstate, the boy told the couple he did not want to go on the trip, which he was told either go to Guam or Idaho. The affidavit said, there's a choice here, Guam or Idaho.
You have two choices.
Yeah, Guam or Idaho. It's your choice, right? At that point, the boy told police the couple pulled over to the side of the road, gave him 2 bags containing a .40 caliber handgun, a 9mm handgun, and some cash. They told him to get out of the car and take care of the house as they drove away.
Well, just leave him at the house then if you're going to have him take care of the house.
Right, yeah. Well, why drop him off on the side of the road? You could just leave him at the
strange.
house. Yeah. Northport Police spokesman Josh Taylor said the discovery of the guns was concerning. Once in the course of that investigation, talking with him, we were able to figure out what was in those bags, Taylor said. There were weapons loaded within those bags, so obviously some red flags go up. So we attempted to make contact with the people who dropped him off. They initially answered, then hung up, then wouldn't pick back up, Taylor said. Taylor adds that the behavior of the adults was cause for concern. The report indicates that the child was handed those bags and told, "You are the chosen one. Good luck." So that's odd.
That is odd.
Yeah.
The chosen one.
Yeah. There you go, Anakin. Go do your thing. When police took the boy home, they found the garage door and the front door of the home wide open. When police entered the home to investigate, they found the home to be cluttered and in disarray with firearms laying out in the open.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hard knock life, I guess.
He had an arsenal.
Yeah. Police were able to track the couple's cell phone to an address in Wauchula, where local police found and detained them. Some neighbors of the family said on Wednesday they were shocked by the news, claiming Santos was a good neighbor and helped to fix things when needed. He was a nice man, said Gene Tucker. I spoke to him once before in the street, and he was telling me he's from Guam. Hence Guam or Idaho, right? He's really family-oriented, and I would never expect something like that from him. Santos and Bora had been charged with neglect of a child without great bodily harm. Santos has also been charged with allowing a juvenile to have possession of a firearm. As of Wednesday, both were still in the Sarasota County Jail. I want you to guess how much bond for this, Jess. How much bond? Each for each parent. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel like it has to be pretty solid. So I'm going to go like 50,000-ish.
That's pretty solid, but I want you to go higher. I want you to aim a little higher on this deal.
Okay. Am I like cold? Like I need to go lots higher?
You're pretty cold, yeah.
Like 150,000.
One more try, get a little higher on this deal.
Really?
Yeah.
200,000.
500,000 each.
What?
Yeah, they're taking it pretty seriously.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. Evidently, they'd like the kids to learn how to shoot a gun and defend themselves, but not quite at this age yet.
Yeah, I just don't want them wandering around on the freeway with a bag full.
Yeah, with a bag.
I just envision it as like a pillowcase too. I don't know why.
Yeah. They don't want them to. They don't want them to become the High Plains drifter.
One of those bags on a stick that he's walking down the interstate with, full of guns.
Yeah, little hobo drifter with a couple of handguns. Yeah. They don't want that quite yet. All right, it's it's not quite yet time for you know what? We're gonna play a game.
Right.
We're gonna play a game.
Oh, fun.
We're gonna play Redneck Bingo.
Oh, I should be good at this.
Yes. So if you get your Redneck Bingo cards out, we'll see if you have this on your Redneck Bingo card. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want you to scour your Redneck Bingo card for fight over NASCAR shirt turning into a gun threat inside the Family Dollar.
Got it.
You got it?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and mark your bingo card for fight over NASCAR shirt turns to gun threat inside Family Dollar. Excellent. All right. Good. Is it also in Charlotte, North Carolina?
It is. How did you know?
I was just guessing, but there you go. That's your first mark on your Redneck Bingo card. And that's our next story, of course. Witnesses say a bizarre and scary crime unfolded Monday at a North Charlotte Family Dollar. It all started with a woman demanding the shirt another woman was wearing.
Okay.
Does that happen a lot?
I mean, every time I go out and I'm like, no, I cannot have the shirt off my back.
It's my shirt.
And I'm like, okay, here you go.
There you go. Take it. It ended with her threatening people with a gun. It happened.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah. Give me a shirt. It happened Monday at the North Graham Street location of Family Dollar near Camp North End. The store did not respond to a request for comment, probably because they had to put their teeth in. A family member of a person inside the store says the incident started when a woman complimented another woman on her NASCAR shirt and then demanded it off of her. Do you get that a lot? Or you go out in public with your NASCAR shirt on, they're like...
I mean, I just don't wear my NASCAR shirts in public for that reason.
Well, you got your... I mean, obviously there's your dress-down Dale Jr. shirt and your good Dale Jr. shirt that you wear to the Longhorn Steakhouse, right?
Right.
Right. And you don't ever want to wear your good Dale Jr. shirt out to the Family Dollar. Otherwise, they might take your good Dale Jr. shirt.
No, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to get jacked for your good Dale Jr. shirt.
No, you can wear your bad one. It also has a gravy stain on it from, just spilling on yourself. But
yeah. At the Old Country Buffet.
Did you know?
Or what's the new one now that everybody goes to? It's the
oh boy, I don't know. I don't know my buffets.
You don't know your buffets? Sorry. Well, of course, there's the KFC buffet.
I mean, give me that any day of the week.
Yeah. If you get a little gravy on you from the KFC buffet, well, and now you're talking. I think that's where you take the ladies when you really want to, make it impressive. Yeah, the KFC buffet. We can go on down there for $5.99. You can gussy up on there to the trough, and we can get on. You know what I mean?
You don't even have to put your teeth in for that buffet because those potatoes, you don't even have to. They just slide right down.
That chicken just comes right off the bone, girl. And hey, you don't have to get boned in. They got boneless right there on that there buffet.
But you might want the bone in when we're done because...
That's right. You want the bone in? I'll give you some bone in.
Wait, why do I do this? It's not safe. It's not safe for work yet.
That's right.
Sorry, guys.
Not, but,
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids. Earmuffs. So that led, by the way, the NASCAR shirt led to a fight between the women because she had asked her to give her the shirt that she wanted. This makes no sense. A family member of the person inside the store says the incident started when a woman complimented another woman on her NASCAR shirt and then demanded it off of her. She asked her to give her the shirt that she wanted, the shirt, so the lady, of course, told her no. She wasn't going to give her the shirt, said the woman, who didn't want to be identified. That led to a fight between the women. Witnesses say the woman who demanded the shirt at one point was throwing water bottles out of the cooler. But things got even more disturbing when she briefly left and came back inside. So she started by chucking water bottles at her, or any bottles at her, and saying, "Give me that there shirt."
She just lost her mind.
Right, yeah. "I got to have me that Dale Jr. shirt." She came back with a gun and was waving it at everyone in the store and anyone going into the store. Employees got most of the customers to the back of the store. It's a regular drill, I guess, at Family Dollar to get everybody to the back of the store. And called police, but a teenager wasn't able to make it to the back in time. That's when witnesses say the woman threatened her. When the lady saw her, she pointed the gun at her head. And the little girl just laid there in like a fetal position. Oh, my God. Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department officers arrived and subdued the woman, making an arrest. The woman's child was with her during the whole ordeal. She was hanging off her hip.
Oh, my goodness.
Why is she shooting at people trying to get a shirt?
My kids think I'm embarrassing.
she said, you can't do anything because you don't know what people are thinking. You don't know what they're going through. But she said, one of the witnesses talking about that their woman shooting for a shirt. CMPD has not released any information on the incident. The records division says a police report isn't ready. They don't have the police report ready yet?
Wow, how complicated is it?
I don't know.
And what exactly could this lady be going through that would justify this behavior?
Witnesses say the woman was taken for a mental health evaluation after she was arrested. Her identity hasn't been released. The woman said, I'm very upset about it, and I'm afraid for those who are working that are still employed there. What, do they fire everybody at the end of this? You didn't catch that there woman with the gun. You didn't tackle her before she was shooting. Therefore, you're going to lose your job.
Strange story, Tim.
It's a very strange story. That was the first part of Redneck Bingo. Here's the second part of Redneck Bingo today. And that's this. If you have this on your Redneck Bingo card. Alabama sheriff misspent $5 million from the county's bingo operations.
Bingo!
Bingo! Jess has it. Clear your cards. The Greene County Sheriff, Jonathan Bennison, spent $5 million from the bingo operations. First of all, who has $5 million in your county bingo operations?
That is a lucrative business.
Right?
So we're starting Darkness Radio bingo now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to start our own bingo hall. $5 million in the bingo operations in the county, in Greene County, in Alabama.
That's insane.
You don't have enough going on in that county.
Maybe that's all they got.
I guess. He oversees that county, by the way. He oversees the operations, the bingo operations in that county. And he spent it for unauthorized purposes and has been ordered to repay the money. Do you really think he still has it? The findings came in a report released Friday by the Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts that covered the sheriff's operations from October 1st of 2018 through April 30th of 2024. The audit findings will be sent to the state attorney general and district attorney for collections. Benson did not immediately return a phone call from AL.com to his office. The findings included this: inadequate or no supporting documentation for $3.16 million paid directly to county employees from the bingo fund. The payments were in addition to the employee salaries paid by the county commission and were reported to the IRS on Form 1099 as non-employee compensation. Inadequate or no supporting documentation for another $2.16 million in spending. Of that, $1.18 million went to consultants and attorneys for professional services. The rest went to merchants, individuals, restaurants, hotels, automotive, repair shops, gas stations, and grocery stores. They're having a party over there in Alabama. Inadequate or no supporting documentation for $16,226 in payments to a tire company and a vending and commissary company paid from several other funds under the sheriff's control. In 2003, the Alabama legislature and Greene County voters approved a constitutional amendment to allow nonprofit organizations to operate bingo games. The sheriff oversees these operations. The money is to be used to benefit the public good and welfare of the citizens of Greene County, to supplement salaries of sheriff department staff, and for other law enforcement purposes, according to the audit report. So you're supposed to be supplementing the sheriff's department, but you got all of that in the meantime. That's a lot of commissary food for $5 million.
Certainly is.
Yeah. But hey, $5 million will buy you a lot of donuts. All right. It's time now for Not Safe for Work. If you have kids in the room, by all means, escort them to another room, maybe a toy room or a closet or somewhere where they can eat $5 million worth of Alabama donuts. That'd be fun. If your boss is in the room, then escort him to a closet or a break room with $5 million worth of Alabama donuts. We'll do that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, normally on this show, Jess, I say it's the lewd, nude, and crude hour. And literally in New Jersey, evidently this man listens to this show because for him in August, it was lewd, nude, and crude hour. And
It's like he was auditioning for us.
He's auditioning for us, exactly. Because this man committed a bunch of lewd acts on a New Jersey beach, and he just kept doing it over and over and over again. A 44-year-old man was arrested after committing lewd acts at a beach in Cape May County multiple times in August. Lower Township Police said a woman reported the man made her uncomfortable, briefly left the area, then returned nude and committed the lewd act at Higbee Beach. He just, although it doesn't say what he did, just being lewd, nude, and crude.
Generally lewd.
Generally lewd, yeah. A few days later, 2 more victims reported a man committed similar lewd acts. Police investigated and arrested a Vineland resident. He was charged with multiple counts of lewdness and sent to the Cape May County Jail. He is no longer listed as an inmate as of Monday. A section of the beach was formerly used by nude sunbathers. So there you go. In New Jersey, evidently we're huge in New Jersey. And they're listening to the show and they're like, lewd, nude, and crude. Yes, please.
I'm on it.
I'm on it. Let's make this a goal. We'll go ahead and do it. So yes, please. Speaking of yes, please, I'll go ahead and help myself to that. A woman has allegedly used dating apps to rob older men. Not the first time it's ever been done. But when cops found out about this, that this woman was allegedly using dating apps to rob older men, they said, is she still available? No, I'm kidding. They didn't say that. The suspect, Adva Lavi, has not yet been apprehended. Let me show you, if I can, show you a picture of her here, Jess. Here's the suspect right here. You tell me, would you? She's not bad looking. I don't know that
she's cute.
Yeah, she's cute, but I don't know if I'm forking over $30,000-$40,000 to her. I guess it's a matter of subjective taste, right? A woman who's been accused of using dating apps to meet men and then burglarize their homes, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, Adva Lavi is wanted for a string of burglaries in which she allegedly targeted older men, posing as a romantic companion on virtual dating platforms and social media, that according to officials. The suspect is described as 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighing 104 pounds with brunette hair and hazel eyes.
My goodness, she's tiny. I mean, she could just blow away.
I think it's the description that's getting most of these older men.
104 pounds at 5'7".
She's got to be skin and bones.
Yeah, that's like the weight of her bones. Like there's no fat.
She's got to be anorexic.
Yeah, she's a skeleton.
See, but these guys aren't thinking, right? They're like 5'7", 104. Oh my God, you've got to be perfect.
All boobs.
Yeah, you got to be nothing but a skeleton with tits, right? But realistically, if you're thinking, like most guys aren't thinking, right?
You said it.
Right. They're thinking with one head.
Yeah.
Because if you actually think about it, at 5'7", you should not weigh anywhere near 104 pounds.
No.
Even at 5'3", you shouldn't weigh anywhere near 104 pounds. You shouldn't be anywhere in the ballpark.
It's pretty tiny.
Yeah. Keep in mind, that's how she's described. I don't think that's what she weighs.
Okay, so this is just what she put on her. What a specific number, too. Not 105, not 100, 104. Exactly.
Right, 104. Lavi is believed to drive a black Porsche SUV or a white Mercedes-Benz. She's also known to use the aliases of Mia Ventura, old man detective, evidently, Shoshana or Shana. according to officials. When contacted by ABC News, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department said they had no additional information to provide about the suspect or her alleged crimes. Officials are also asking anyone with information about Lavi or incidents in which she may have been involved to contact the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department or Los Angeles Police Department. Again, big red flag, 5'7", 104 pounds. Big red flag.
Yeah.
No way. I mean, even when you look at her face, there's no way she weighs 5'7", 100.
Yeah, that should be emaciated.
Yeah, she would. Put it this way: there's just no way. If she were 5'7" and 104 pounds, if you were to drop a sandwich in front of her, she'd probably hit the pavement faster than most people who boxed Mike Tyson in his prime. There's just no way. All right, for our next story, we're going to. These stories, Jess, they always make me laugh. We're going to, I believe is this a North Carolina story? I think it's a North Carolina story. I always love it when preachers get caught soliciting prostitutes because they have the funniest excuses as to why, right?
Yes.
These are the stories that get me. A Cary preacher, a human rights nonprofit leader, is charged with soliciting prostitution. This local preacher was arrested Tuesday morning in Raleigh for allegedly soliciting a prostitute after a traffic stop. He says the situation is a misunderstanding. It's misleading. But his excuse is a great one. He just, top of the head, right? They got to come up with an excuse. And I love when preachers come up with an excuse off the top of their head because it's always, they have great imaginations, right? So this local preacher is accused of trying to pick up a prostitute, and he's calling the situation a misunderstanding. This guy's name is Baber George. Let me try and show you the picture. There's a picture of him here, but there's a play button in front of him. You get an idea kind of what he looks like here.
Okay, this is the pastor.
This is the pastor, Baber George, right?
Okay.
50-year-old man.
Looks like he could save my soul.
Yeah, well, he might not do a great job of doing it. He's a little flawed himself. But the local preacher, 50-year-old Baber George of Cary, was arrested around 1:20 a.m. on Tuesday. Now, nothing good happens after midnight, right? For allegedly soliciting a prostitute. Raleigh police conducted a traffic stop of George for a moving violation. So initially, he's just driving along, doing his thing, and, he gets in a little trouble. Through an initial investigation during the stop, officers determined he was involved in soliciting prostitution. George said he works locally as a preacher and for an international nonprofit focused on human rights. Now, here's the big excuse, Jess. He said the woman claimed to have a child and was homeless, so he gave her $20.
Oh, he wasn't asking her to do anything other than just care of her child.
Right. It just so happened she's homeless. He went to hand her $20. He accidentally dropped it. She had to drop to her knees to pick it up, and she ended up sucking his dick. It just happens.
Somehow her head ended up in his lap. He doesn't understand how.
It happens. It happens. She was grateful.
I'm as surprised as anyone.
She was really grateful for the $20. I mean, what was he going to do? She was down there. She was grateful. Just, God says to love. George posted his $3,000 unsecured bond following his arrest and appeared in court on Tuesday afternoon. He just, but we're all just here to love each other. That's what he's probably said. We're all just here to love each other. In another story, and by the way, we're going from North Carolina to Baltimore. Probably a bandit that will never get away with his crime because it'll take way too long. And I'll tell you, Jess, this is In a word, confusing. I want you to imagine I hand you a piece of paper.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Thank you.
Handing you this piece of paper. And I'm going to hand you a pencil.
Okay. Got it.
All right. This man in Baltimore County is 24 years old. He's got a lot to learn. About how to make a threat. Okay, because it involves a pen and paper. 24-year-old Micah Narte is accused of approaching at least 2 women outside a Cockeysville area business on Friday. Cockeysville, Maryland, right? First of all,
I want to live there.
Yeah, Cockeysville. Right. So police arrested this 24-year-old man on Sunday for disorderly conduct after he reportedly approached women in Baltimore County with written threats soliciting sex. So he'd come up to you. Let's say, Jess, you're there in Baltimore County, right?
Okay.
And rather than saying, "Girl, drop your drawers, I'm gonna do you," right? He would say, "Hold on."
Scribble, scribble, scribble. I hope he has that same very serious looking face while he's scribbling away.
Yep, and then hand it to you. Right? Here's what he did. 24-year-old Micah Narte is accused of approaching at least 2 women outside a Cockeysville area business on Friday and making them read from a notebook that contained demands for sex and threats that he was armed with a weapon.
He's like, I can't get at it right now because I'm holding this notebook and pen, but in my pocket I have a gun.
Yep. Police found 4 notebooks in Narte's bag, according to the charging document. Investigators said that one of them contained a letter saying, "I will shoot you with a gun and kill you. Come with me and find a place to have sex and do your best. And don't do anything about it. And don't tell the police. And don't tell anyone."
Your best.
Yeah, and do your best. Don't do a half-assed job. Do your best.
Don't just lay there and be lazy. Do your best.
Do your best and forget the rest. And don't do anything about it. And don't tell the police. And don't tell anyone, even if you have the opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. So you got all that so far?
Yeah. I'd be like, hold on. I got to take a picture of this smile. I need to put this on my Instagram. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened to me.
I mean, do my best?
It's my favorite part.
Are you a rapist or a cheerleader? What do my best?
Yeah, a little bit of both, Tim.
Yay, Rob. Trying to get to the rest of the story here, but evidently even Yahoo is surprised at this story. Doesn't want me to go any further. It's like, no, you get the idea.
It's like, Tim, it's too weird. You don't need to see this.
Yeah. I'm trying to scroll down, and then it wants me to read the story about Mark Sanchez, which is even weirder, but I stayed away from the Mark Sanchez story.
Oh no.
Yeah. But do you find that odd? I mean, I find it odd, right? I find it odd that this whole thing has gone down the way it's gone down.
I don't know exactly what has happened with him other than that he was arrested.
Well, to go up with a notebook and say, do your best.
Yeah.
I've got a gun.
That's very odd.
We're gonna get it on.
That's super strange.
We're gonna, but do your best.
Do your best.
What should and don't tell anybody about it. Even if you have the opportunity. Don't bring it to the police. Don't bring it to family members. But
Do your best.
Do your best. That's the one line that gets me. The do your best thing is quite funny. Do your best. Do your best. Forget the rest. I don't know that line. My mom, when she hears this, is going to laugh her ass off because that's her line. Do your best. Forget the rest. Right. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a guy. Oh, Micah.
Narte, 24 years old. I'm rebooting my iPad.
What kind of a charge is that, I wonder? Like, attempted rape? I mean, he did attempt to. He handed that to an insecure person. He might be like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. Let's go find a place to do this. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah. It's
Come with me and go find a place.
Come with me. Come with me. We're going to do this. Here's a note. But first, you've got notebooks. So obviously you've written this out more than one time, right?
The only way I can make sense of this in my brain is if he wasn't able to communicate otherwise. Like maybe he was deaf. But he couldn't.
Or stage fright, right?
Maybe.
But okay, so if you've got stage fright, maybe you should just stay home.
Yeah, I was going to say if they find a place, it's probably not going to go very well. He's too afraid to even speak. I feel like this is not happening. I feel like she's not the one who needs to worry about doing her best.
Right. Yeah. She's not the one who's probably going to have the
what
issue.
a weird story.
Yeah. Our next story, Jess. Oh, boy. Are you ready to be uncomfortable?
Always.
All right. I'm going to show you a picture here. I got to zoom in on it, though. I want you to try and guess what this is.
Well, it looks like an X-ray of somebody who swallowed something or stuck something in their butt.
You're onto something.
Is it a giant dildo?
No.
It looks a little bit like a to-go travel cup for your coffee.
Oh, you are so close.
It is not a water bottle.
Worse.
What is it?
I'll tell you.
And how did it get in there? I don't want to know.
I'll tell you. Here's the headline. Cops say that an inmate was found packing a thermos.
It is a thermos for your coffee.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, that's so big.
Yes, it is. While being booked into a Florida county lockup on drug and trespassing charges, Walter Freimeyer passed through an X-ray machine that jailers used to thwart attempts at smuggling and contraband. Yeah.
Can you imagine being an X-ray tech looking at that?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a Stanley?
Is that thermos brand Stanley? Is that hurt?
Oh, goodness.
By the way, are you in pain?
No. How? You know how big that is?
Yeah. That takes up his entire cavity, his entire stomach cavity. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it really did. It was like all the way up to his ribs.
Yeah. But while the 51-year-old Freimeyer was not found to have stashed weapons or narcotics on his person, he was still packing. As seen in the image that I just showed Jess, when Freimeyer went through the body scanner, corrections workers spotted a full-size thermos inside the detainee's body. Sadly, police records do not include the manufacturer or dimensions of the thermos, which entered Freimeyer's body a day earlier via the exit ramp, according to Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd.
Let's just say the dimensions were hella big.
Yeah, hella big. Or ouchie size, right? Freimeyer, who has a sprawling criminal record, was busted Saturday evening for trespassing on Amtrak property in Winter Haven. A frisk turned up a glass pipe with burned residue consistent with methamphetamine, Jess.
Shocking. Okay.
Yeah. According to that police affidavit that noted that Freimeyer reportedly admitted to using meth for 28 years. Hence how he can get a thermos up his ass. Yeah.
And how that seems like a good idea to him.
That's right. By the way, I'm going to show you a picture of Mr. Freimeyer. This is what it looks like when you've accomplished getting a thermos up your ass.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I can't even look at this person.
Well, you just did.
I don't want to. It's too weird.
While being transported to jail, Freimeyer allegedly warned an officer, "If you arrest me, I will find you and kill you." With what? Astonishment at the fact that you got a thermos up your ass.
I mean, how does one even sit down? I mean, like if you had a thermos in your rectum, okay, just imagine you're sitting there and it's and it's big.
Rectum damn near killed him. Anyways, go ahead.
How could you even sit? Like, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
This is the worst.
You think it's tough delivering a baby? Try getting that thermos back out.
I can't. Well, I can't imagine getting it in the first place. I think that'd be the worst part.
I'll tell you this much.
Jam it.
Even Diddy doesn't have that much lube in his house in Miami.
I don't think so.
No.
There's not enough baby oil.
That's right. Told that it was illegal to make such a threat to cops, as in, "I'll find you and kill you," Freimeyer, cops say, replied, "Good, I'm going to kill you, so charge it." Charge it to what?
Also, if you're thirsty, I've got coffee.
Yeah, right. I got some coffee for those donuts. By the way, speaking of donuts, do you have anything I can sit on? That's what he said to him. Freimeyer is locked up in lieu of only $12,000 bond. Yeah. On 2 felony and 2 misdemeanor counts. The thermos, by the way, Jess, if you're ready for this, was removed from Freimeyer's rectum at a local hospital. How would you like to be the doctor to do that little operation?
No.
Let me do this for you.
Yep. It's one of those gloves that goes all the way up to your shoulder.
That's right. It's like delivering a baby calf. They probably brought in the veterinarian.
Dr. Pole was there.
That's right. He was not charged with seeking to smuggle a prohibited item into the jail. They went easy on him on that.
I wonder what was in it. I mean, honestly.
Rumor has it he didn't like the coffee in jail.
Just not a strong enough,
Yeah. It was probably a nice brisk roast from the Starbucks. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a medium roast. He likes a dark roast.
That's right. He likes a dark roast. Speaking of liking a dark roast, are you ready for our next story? Which is our last.
I hope it's not as disgusting. I'm ready.
Which is our last story. And then our palate cleanser.
Okay.
Okay. My cousin over there in the Vatican, Pope Leo, is in shock after horrific footage shows a man urinating on the altar at St. Peter's Basilica.
What? That's not okay.
No, it's not.
Unless you're sleepwalking and you're very confused.
How are you going to sleepwalk at St. Peter's Basilica? I mean, it's not like there's a hotel attached to it where...
The service was very boring and he fell asleep.
Right. And he just walked up and unzipped.
He had that dream where you're running down a hallway and you have to pee and you're just running for that door at the end. You finally get there and you're like, oh my God. And then you're like, oh, I just peed.
Oh, had to get rid of it.
Sorry, guys.
A man urinated on the altar of confession. I confess I got a wee during a holy mass at the St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican on Friday before being taken away by authorities as tourists watched in horror. And by the way, yes, Jess, there's a picture. There he is.
Oh, he's doing it.
Yes, he is.
That's him. That's the act happening.
That's the act happening, Jess. Yes, there's a photographer on site.
And there's somebody with their hand on his arm, just like, no, stop.
Yeah, like, if you could take that out of your hand for a minute, sir.
Put that thing away.
We'd appreciate it. Please don't get it in the communion wine if we'd appreciate that. It's expensive.
Don't put it in the holy water either. We're putting that on our heads. And
that's right. Yeah.
Washing that in our faces.
There's actually a story out this week that I foregone, whatever. It's a foregone conclusion. I don't know what the word is. That in Uganda, they've switched wines because communion wine has become a popular drink in Uganda.
Oh, it is tasty. I do like communion wine. It's a little sweet.
Well, it's become quite the drink now. So they've switched wines now in Uganda. The Catholic Church has.
They don't want people chugging it down.
Yeah.
They come up for your little sip and you can grab the chalice and you're like,
yeah. They evidently don't want Ugandan rappers going, blood of Christ. It's just, it's not a popular thing to do.
No, that'd be bad.
Yeah. So anyways, back to our story. A man urinated on the altar of confession during a holy mass at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican on Friday before being taken away by authorities as tourists watched in horror. The unidentified man climbed the altar on the famous place of worship before dropping his pants to his ankles and desecrating all over the holy grounds. That's one way of putting it. According to the local newspaper, Corriere della Sera's Rome edition, the man urinated under the stunned gaze of hundreds of tourists. Officers in plain clothes quickly removed the man from the premises. When authorities approached him, he quickly bent down and yanked his jeans back up as he flashed his buttocks to the tourists. Videos taken by bystanders show the shocking incident occurred at the 9 a.m. Holy Mass, but it remains unclear whether Pope Leo XIV was leading it. Leading it? At that point, he's trailing it. I think he gets the hell out of there, wouldn't you? That's one gun I don't want to see a flashing, if you know what I mean.
No, thank you.
While the Holy See Press Office has not released an official statement on the incident, the local outlet Il Tempo reported that the news reached Pope Leo, who was shocked. Oh, come on, he's from Chicago. How shocked could he be?
Just another day in Chicago streets, right?
That's right. He's used to seeing
guy peeing in the corner.
Yeah, he's used to seeing people peeing all the time. It's unclear if the man was arrested or charged after the urination. The Friday incident was not the first time someone attacked the famous altar. In February, a man desecrated the main altar by climbing on top of it and throwing 6 candelabras to the ground. After throwing the candelabras, the man attempted to remove the altar cloth. However, he was quickly detained by security agents and escorted outside. This is an episode of a person with a serious mental disability who has been detained by the Vatican police and then placed at the disposal of the Italian authorities. Matteo Bruni, the director of the Holy See Press Office, told ANSA. There was also a security breach, by the way, in June of 2023, when a man approached the altar and didn't do anything but stand there and said, "Save the children of the Ukraine." That's not much of a...
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what's worse? Some guy jumping up there and throwing candelabrums down, or some guy jumping up there and robbing trow and peeing everywhere?
Yeah, that's a little more... Yeah, that's a little
more icky.
Yeah. All right. Our palate cleansers today are double entendres. You ready for this?
Okay. Yeah.
But double entendres in the best way. I think you're going to get a good giggle out of this.
Is it going to make me happy?
Yes. We're going to go to Iowa City for the first one. I think you're going to like the first one. Has to do with the church, but it's in the funniest way. I don't think they were thinking when the First Presbyterian Church in Iowa City named their new bell.
Oh, what'd they name it?
Well, they weren't really thinking because, there's a bit of a stigma when it comes to clergy and what they've named their new bell. They say when a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Well, in this case, when the bell rings at the First Presbyterian Church, someone may be getting a Hummer.
Oh. Oh, that's no.
The First that's a no. The First Presbyterian Church held a dedication and blessing ceremony Sunday morning for the historic Hummer Bell.
Oh, no. Why?
Spelled Hummer, Hummer Bell.
In that congregation has to understand. Oh, my.
It's now hanging in a new campanile outside the church on Rochester Avenue. The bell's story stretches back to 1848, when it was nearly stolen by the church's former pastor, Reverend Michael Hummer. That's where the Hummer comes in.
I mean, I get it. You want to honor him, but also, no, his name means bad things.
Yeah. Later, it was actually taken by locals who stopped his attempt. So they took it away from the Hummer.
No Hummer for you.
That's right. The bell eventually traveled west with a group bound for the California Gold Rush and was later sold in Utah to members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. After decades in storage and years of confusion about its origins, the bell was identified in the late 1990s as belonging to the Iowa City Church. It was returned last month after more than 175 years away. Sundays.
You're like, here, guys, you can have your Hummer back.
Yeah, have your Hummer bell back. Yeah. Ring it proudly. Let it stand at attention.
We're not going to be laughing at you over here. No, not at all.
Every time the Hummer bell goes off, somebody stands at attention. It's the Hummer bell. Hummer
that's
bell.
A good one.
Hummer bell. You want your next palate cleanser?
Yes, please.
I'm going to show you a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Is he the fattest bear?
Yes!
He won!
It's a Fat Bear contest winner.
Oh, this one makes my day.
Normally when you talk about fat bears, it's another double entendre. You're talking about a chunky gay guy. But in this case...
What?
Yes!
I've never heard that one.
No? Am I educating you?
No, you are. You always do, Tim. You always do.
A fat bear is normally a chunky, hairy gay guy. But in this case, Chunk is a 1,200-pound bear with a broken jaw.
Oh, how did he break his jaw?
Well, I'll tell you. And he's won Alaska's popular Fat Bear Week contest. This is actually a thing.
I've been watching it. It's been on the news.
Yeah. Well,
every morning they get up and show the finalists, and I'm like, I think that one's chunkier than that one.
He won a couple weeks ago. He was the ultimate winner. Chunk, a towering brown bear with a broken jaw, swept the competition a couple weeks ago in the popular Fat Bear Week contest. His first win after narrowly finishing in second place 3 previous years. The annual online competition allows viewers to follow 12 bears in Alaska's Katmai National Park and Reserve online webcams and cast ballots in bracket-style single elimination tournament that lasts a week. Chunk, known officially as Bear 32, beat out Bear 856, who doesn't have a nickname, in the final bracket, according to totals posted on the organizer's website. There's even, see, look at this. There's even a little bracket, just like the NCAA basketball tournament.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. See, look at that. Chunk's weight was estimated at 1,200 pounds by contest organizers. While they do not weigh individual bears during the contest because of safety concerns, Chunk and others have had their destiny scanned to bolster weight estimates in the past using laser technology called LiDAR. Despite his broken jaw, He remains one of the biggest, baddest bears at Brooks River, said Mike Fitz, a naturalist for explore.org. Fitz said Chunk likely hurt his jaw in a fight with another bear. So that's how it happened.
Oh, a little bar fight.
Yeah, a little bar fight with the bear. The contest is widely popular. This year it attracted over 1.5 million votes from fans who watched the Ursines Gorge on a record run of fall salmon as they fished in the Brooks River about 300 miles or 483 kilometers from Anchorage. It is the largest glut of salmon on the living memories of the bears or the humans who have been running the Fat Bear Week contest since 2014, according to the Katmai that's not a word. I know it should be conservatory, but it's conservancy. That's what it is.
Oh.
Spokesperson Naomi Boak. That abundance decreased conflict in the river since salmon were readily available, Boak said in an email to the announcement, which was actually a week or two ago. Katmai National Park Ranger Sarah Bruce estimated around 200,000 salmon made their way up Brooks River. In leaner years, the toughest bears jockey for the best fishing spots at Brooks Falls, where the salmon converge on a bottleneck and leap up from the water as they fight their way upstream to spawn. This year, Brooks Falls fishing spots were often empty as bears hunted up and downstream. There's even room for humans to fish. So there was a lot of fish. So there you go. Fat Bear Week was started in 2014 as an interactive way to inform the public about brown bears, the coastal cousins of grizzlies. They spend summers catching and eating as many salmon as possible so they can fatten up for hibernation in Alaska's cold, lean winters. So congratulations to Chunk. So bears.
Bears.
The way I found out that a bear was a fat gay man, I found that out in college.
Really?
At Glam Slam.
I've never heard.
Yeah,
heard that before.
No, I was at Glam Slam Princess Club in the Warehouse District, and that was the first time I ever heard about a bear.
And you're like, I love bears.
Yeah, that exactly. I was like, yeah. Somebody said, yeah, you're a cute little bear, and I went,
oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks. Because I didn't know. They're like, you have no idea what a bear is, do you? And I was like, no clue. I just thought, like Winnie the Pooh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got educated real quick.
Wonder if it's a slang the kids still use, though. I mean, everything's changed so much.
It's a slang in the gay community.
Still means it.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think it's a compliment. Bears are snuggly and cute. They will rip your face off, but
yeah.
So
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I was
learn something new every day.
So I was like, oh, and then the guy wanted to buy me a drink.
I hope you let him.
So I was like, oh, hey, as long as somebody finds me attractive tonight, hey, I'm good.
You're like, I feel so pretty right now.
I feel like a pretty little princess. So, yeah. So that's the program for today. So Jess, what's going on in your world?
Oh gosh, I feel like a lot, but I'm stumped to tell you what I was just telling someone I have like 10 author events coming up. I know I have a book signing in St. Paul. And if I look at my calendar, I believe it's Saturday, the 25th from 1 to 3. But I sure can't remember the name of the bookstore.
All right. Well,
I'll have to tell you later.
We'll encourage people to not only check your website, but check social media.
Yes, I will definitely shout it out. I just learned about it from my publisher today. So,
okay.
Yeah. Great. I think that's the only thing that we're doing the 4 Pause presentations the week of Halloween. But they sold out in 24 hours, all of them, so nobody can even get tickets. But
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
we'll do that again sometime, I'm sure. They're really fun. They do a really nice dinner, and then we tell the legend and the real history, and then share paranormal evidence from investigations.
I was going to say, I think it's the 25th. I'll be in Coon Rapids doing a trunk or treat event right after the Anoka Halloween parade.
Well, that'll be super fun. I wish I could come see you. We'll both be working.
Yeah. So I'll let people know. It's in the afternoon. So it's in the Coon Rapids area, right near Anoka. But I'll let people know where they can come, and they can bring their kids in their costumes and come get free candy, and come say hi. So
very fun.
Yeah. So I'll let people know as we get closer to the event. It's again on the 25th. This week, we've got a busy week ahead. Mally Fox is in tomorrow with Supernatural News. And then coming up on Thursday, we're talking UFOs with, I'm not going to say, I shouldn't say, I should tease it.
You should be teasing us right now.
We're going to talk UFOs. That's all I'll say. We'll talk UFOs, but we're going to talk UFOs with, I'll just put it this way, with an expert from another country. One that's had a lot of different sightings. One that's had a lot of different sightings that's been in the news lately. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting show on Thursday. So, yeah, I'll stop short on that. So that's what's going on this week. So that will do it, folks. A couple of notes. Again, we're getting close to, Jess just mentioned Halloween. There's still time for you to get in on those trips and Mysterious Adventures tours, whether you want to go to Romania with Dacre Stoker or go to Ireland with Brian J. Cano. The link is at Darkness Radio, darknessradioshow.com in the events section. The link for either of those trips in the events section. Go to darknessradioshow.com, click on or the description of this program. We've got the link as well. Click on that link. You can make payments to either trip if you still want to go. I know some of you have your passports. You're ready to go. You're ready to travel. You can do that. Also, the new iPhone and the new iOS is out, I believe, or is about to be out. With that, there's going to be some updates to the Darkness Radio Apple app. Just be patient as that happens. And hey, brand new iOS means all new changes to the app. So watch for that. Other than that, that's about it for today. We've been running long today, so that's okay. We had some good stories. But stay tuned for Supernatural News tomorrow. And again, we're talking UFOs on Thursday. So that'll do it for today. For Jessica Freeberg, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us today for the best in true crime podcasting. This is True Crime Tuesday.